Hello there, everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you that are here. I hope you will enjoy the stream. Let me see. Nobody's here yet in the comment section, but big up to you guys. All right, so let me just quickly share this. All right, so big up to you guys. Ensure that you smash the like button, and if you're new, subscribe. For watching, do drop a like and do subscribe. All right, so let's not waste any time. Let's just go straight into doing this. All right, so this is the starting 11 that we fielded. Big up to you guys. So the starting 11 for both teams, well, one team I should say. My head is kind of all to place. Big up to you, GMC Garvin. Thank you for joining. Big up to you, I hope you're good, man. I hope you're good. But yeah, so let's go straight into the lineup. So starting 11, Jurgensen in goal. No surprise there. Robert Sanchez obviously not being available. He has a knock according to Maresca, so he obviously didn't play this match, or even he was not even on the bench. We have Josh Acheng-Pong on that right hand side. We had Tosin, one of the centre backs, Maria Shield, the other one. We have Mark Kukureya also there. Then obviously we had Reece James, who was also on the pitch. He was somewhat as a midfielder there. We had Dewsbury Hall, William Madueke, who was obviously on the score sheet. My head is all over the place. Then you have Enzo Fernández in the midfield, who got assists in this match. He had a good match. I'll give him that. He did well in terms of creating chances and getting assists. So fair play to him. Jadon Sancho, the player that opened the scoring for Chelsea, of course, cannot disregard that. Then you have Tyreek George, who had a good enough match, didn't score, had chances, did well, was able to show some dribbling skills and all that, but not much there. But fair play to him, got a start, and he showed that there's a promising player in there. So hopefully he is able to get more chances and deliver in the future. But fantastic work. I've sent the link out to some panelists. I'll see if anybody ends up joining, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But big up to you guys. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Thank you for watching right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think about the match and what is your feelings? What are your thoughts? I mean, this performance doesn't surprise a lot of people, I'm sure. Chelsea are the favorites to win this competition. I have said for weeks now that I don't see winning it. I could be wrong. I could be right. Nothing is certain, but right now, not really gonna go over the moon. It's a match that went downhill for Djurgården in that second half. They got a goal back, of course. We can't disregard that. And they did their best. They had some moments where Chelsea would have been nervy. And they show that, they're a quality team in Sweden. Their league started recently. They're 11th right now, but I don't can wait until the season just started for them. So fair play to them. They didn't shy away from it. They didn't let their heads drop. They continuously persisted with being a threat to Chelsea, and fair play to them. Fair play to them. I'll give them that. So big up to you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and one. So let me just quickly share this in the meantime. I'll see if anybody joins the panel. Okay, so Energy Dong, big up to you. Thank you for joining Energy Dong. How are you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing well. I thought we had a good effort tonight. I was glad to see some of the young guys get a little
That's good. That's good.
get a little action, and glad to see Nicolas Jackson get to brace. I thought the second goal was well earned because of his effort to stay at it. He nicked it off both the defender and the goalkeeper. So I thought that was it was a bright moment for him, and I was happy with the effort. Um, all the way around. It would have been nice if we could have kept a clean sheet, but that never seems to happen. But I think I liked our starters getting a little run out in the second half and in preparation for the weekend. But honestly, a really good day for the squad today. Brentford did us a favor, taking care of Nottingham Forest. We took care of our business. One would suspect that Liverpool could be on the beach when they come this weekend. It should not be anticipated because that could be dangerous, but it would be nice if they were. It would be nice to get a more established, firm foothold in the top four because our run in is of course not the easiest this last month or so. So any opportunity that we have where a team like Brentford does us a favor against Nottingham Forest, we certainly need to take full advantage of it.
Fair enough.
What did you think of the effort tonight?
I mean, it didn't surprise me. I didn't expect that it would go downhill for Djurgården like that, because they're a good team and they started off very well in that first. I think that was obviously expected in terms of what Chelsea did. Obviously, you got to not sit back and really do that. They were coming at Chelsea, and I said that before you came on it. They were putting up a fight. They were actually showing Chelsea that they're not afraid of them. And that is one thing that played into Chelsea's hands. I see people like CFC, PYS or Pies, whatever his name is, saying that why can't we play like this uh every week? Because you don't play teams like Djurgården every week where they're coming at you. A lot of the teams that we play, especially the low blocks, they recognize that if you give them space, or rather if they give us space, I should say, we will be able to do more. So by sitting deep and by having a lot of players behind, it makes it difficult for the team to really break them down. So if you look at, let me share the stats, and then you realize something that to support my points as well. If you look at the statistics here, the possession, when Chelsea dominate the ball, they don't do well. That is something I've noticed. When they dominate the ball, they never do well. Most of the games that we've actually done, just the first half of the season, where Chelsea were second and quote unquote in a title race, they did not have a lot of the ball. Most of the games that they've won, it was with the other team having more of the ball. And we saw that the possession was not even, it wasn't as high. Obviously, we still had more of the ball for obvious reasons, but the possession wasn't a 91 where we had 76 or 75 or 66 or something like that. It's 58 close, just about having more possession. So it didn't surprise me. I expected the game to go that way. I didn't expect that we would win 4-1. I said 2-1 because I was expecting Djurgården, because they are a good team in Sweden historically, and they're a team that actually have the home advantage. So I was saying, okay, they are more accustomed to playing on that pitch and all that. But happy for the team, and I'm happy that Jackson got 2 goals. So it followed up him scoring a goal against Everton. So the brace will help him with confidence-wise. I'm worried about Cole Palmer. He's not looking confident, in my opinion. He's second-guessing himself, it looks like, and that's concerning from a player. I'm hoping that it doesn't persist, but it's concerning. You can't say it's just a blip. There's something psychologically going wrong. What you think, Energy Dunk, but that's just my thoughts. I'm worried about Cole Palmer now.
I agree, and when a player loses confidence, and it festers for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then he's inside his own head, and what can snap a player out? Maybe catching a jammy goal and getting lucky, or and a lot of times a player like Cole Palmer, some of those finishes where he's made that great pass and the guy receiving the ball doesn't finish the goal, that's a lost opportunity for Cole Palmer to gain some confidence with the assist. I view Cole Palmer like kind of like a point guard in the NBA, where when he dishes that ball and somebody scores, that boosts his own confidence. And I think there's been a bit of that as well. There's been a lack of finishing on some of what would have normally been a good assist, but there's been a lack of finishing. I think a bit he's coming too high, and he's not in or around the box where it gives him a chance to be a little more creative and put players in. So I think part of his problem is himself, and also the way the team's playing. And like you said, when we line up against those teams that just immediately go into the low block. It's difficult for any player, any team to unlock those teams. And then you combine that with a lack of confidence. I loved the fact that their squad came at us a bit, because I'm like you. I think it frees up and allows a little more creativity, a little more of a wide open game. And I think you're correct in your notes in that when you see Chelsea with 75% of the ball, that inability to break down a team erodes the confidence of the players. So, I think we won't have that. We won't have that problem this weekend. and I hope that we are prepared to play. I hope the home fans are backing the club, and making some noise and supporting our boys, and that's going to be important. It's going to be a huge game. We are firmly in fifth position right now. So I think we have to not let that slip by. We've got to take advantage of it. We had a little drop and kind of went down the table. I think for me, I still say the drop off around Christmas. Part of that for me is down to Maresca basically talking down the team, saying they're not ready, they're not good enough. And when the coach is saying that has to make confidence wane a little bit for the players. So I think if we can have a good run in, I really like, I like the fact that we're in position to, easily, we could just as easily finish third as we could finish sixth or seventh. So it's down to us. Our destiny, as they say, we control our own destiny. So if this squad can put together a good run these last 4 games, and maybe atone for a little bit of the drop off around Christmas, we can get into Champions League. That will result in an injection of funds that will allow us maybe to spend this summer and get players in. And I'd like, obviously, when you're going to get a player in, if you're getting that player, get him in early and get him in with the squad and get him practicing with the coaches, so that we hit the ground running, instead of late in the window, and then the guy comes in, he's not settled, he doesn't have a place to live, he doesn't, it's like you're almost sacrificing the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season while that new player gets settled in. It'd be nice, Tyrone. I don't know if you've ever moved, but having previously served in the military and moved a couple times in my life, when you go to a new place, you don't know where things are. You don't know where, aside from fast food restaurants, that bit of adjustment till you get in your groove. This is where I'm going to live. This is where I'm going to shop. This is where I'm going to bank. This is where I'm going to, this is where I'm going to work. This is how I got to deal with traffic. So I would like Chelsea, if we're getting players in, let's get them in early. Let's get them settled. Let's get them in, into their living situation, comfortable with the squad, comfortable with their teammates, comfortable with their coaches, and let's kick on early next year. Let's kick on straight away. That's what I want to see. I want to see us close out this year strong. I want to see us mount a strong Champions League campaign. If we buy, which I feel like we're going to pick up some players in the summer, let's go. Let's get on early and let's hit the ground running. I'm looking at the schedule this weekend, and Brighton is hosting Newcastle. Well, certainly, I'm going to be wearing. I don't have a Seagulls jersey, but if I did, I'd be wearing that, and I'd be wearing a Wolves jersey. I'm not. and Crystal Palace is hosting Nottingham Forest. So Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace has been playing very well. I don't know if you've watched them lately, but they've been very, very impressive to me. And obviously they've got Mateta up front, who's a big, strong lad and is not – he's an imposing, physically dominant player. He's not going to be muscled around by the defenders from Nottingham Forest. So for me, of course, we got Liverpool. Of course, they're the Premier League champions. Of course, we hope they, Buddy asked me, he said, "Do you think they were partying last night?" I said, "Hell, I hope they partied all night last night, and I hope they party all night every night." And that I don't mind any help we can get. Any help we can get, I'll take it. I'm not too proud to beg Crystal Palace to help us. I'm not too proud to beg Brighton to help us. And if we could have a good result, a good run of results from those that are playing our opposition, that would definitely make our lives a bit easier if we can take care of our own business. So, I'm excited about the run in. I'm always, I guess I tend to be always confident in the team and always optimistic about what we can do. And obviously I'm feeling that way now. I think we're in a position, as I said, we control our own destiny. If we don't make Champions League and we don't finish in the top 5, there are no excuses. These boys need to look in the mirror and not look out the window, because it'll 100% fall on their shoulders.
Fair enough. You've said a lot, and I respect a lot what you said. But yeah. Big up to the Coolest Shows podcast. Big up to Kumber, who's in the chat. Appreciate both of you guys supporting. 11 people are watching. Let's get the likes up. You can do way better than that. 3 likes, but 11 people watching. Come on, you can do better than that.
Now, where are you at, Tyrone? Where are you at located?
I'm in Jamaica.
Oh, okay. I'm on the East Coast of the United States in Norfolk, Virginia. So we're on the same time.
Nice, I can hear it, man.
You can hear my dog out in the patio barking at the neighbor's cat. So. And I can't make him stop because he just wants to. I don't know if he wants to attack that cat or if he wants to play. But yeah, I'm excited about Sunday. I mean, we are really getting down to these final days of the season where every game is a big game. Every game we play is going to be a big game. Now, the good thing about Sunday is, we could be at kickoff. We could have a result, or likely have a result in the Brighton Newcastle game. Now, how nice would that be to go into our match against Liverpool if Newcastle, either draws or doesn't get anything out of the game, and there we would be in potentially a position to move up to as high as 3rd. That would be awesome. That would be. I mean, that would just. Actually, I just now see that Man City is playing tomorrow. So, I'm going to be. That's the only game on the schedule for tomorrow. I'll be a huge Wolves fan, and the striker for Wolves seems to be parading about the shop window. Hopefully, he'll do the same. City scares me a little bit because they seem to have been. They had a big, long lull, but they seem to be on the cusp of getting it cranked up again. I like a couple of the guys that they bought in the winter window. The Egyptian Marmouche, I believe his name is, a very impressive player. So City is, I could easily see City or Chelsea potentially catching. I know this might sound a shocker. How about if both of those teams have a chance to catch Arsenal? How bad? How bad? How much crying would the Arsenal fans do if City or Chelsea get past them in the last 4 or 5 weeks? That would absolutely the meltdown. Because I work with several Arsenal fans, so it would benefit me because I could actually wind them up at work, and that would be awesome. If I mean, there's always a possibility. 2 games can change, 2 results going for us. We take care of our business. I mean, we're right in the thick of it. I'm just maybe I'm too optimistic, but I easily can see us finishing second or third. I know that's crazy. That's crazy talk, but I believe it's possible still, and I believe we will do it. We just need to get Cole Palmer off the skids, and maybe Sunday's game, biggest game is going to be obviously it's going to be on the big NBC channel here in the States. So it's going to be broadcast. It's going to be huge. I will be parked right in front of the TV with all my chores done, so I can count on not being disturbed during any of the action. And it's going to be a huge game. All we need to do is win. That's all we need to do. Everybody else has to worry about their stuff. I'd love us to get some help, but if we win our remaining games, we will make Champions League next year. It's that simple. That simple. And that's all we have to do is perform. Get out there, meet the challenge face to face, overcome, play as a team, get the job done, get Champions League. Everybody be thrilled, including me and you.
Yeah. Yeah, you said a lot, man. I appreciate a lot what you said, man. It's a pleasure having you on. I think it's the second time you've been on, and I think the last time was what I say.
I was only on for a minute, and I have 2 granddaughters, and my oldest granddaughter had her first sporting event, so we had to go to that. But yeah, I'm I think, like all things, when you initially start getting going, it takes a bit to build, but I will certainly support it. I'm not a fan of some of the fan channels because there's a lot of negativity and there's a lot of, I'm just not a fan of that. I get angry at the players. I get angry at the coach, but some of the stuff that some of these fan channels say is really beyond acceptable in my mind. And that's, I just want this club to succeed, and I want the players to succeed, and I want the fans to be happy and support the club. I think, that's going to be the task. If the supporters cannot be excited for Sunday, they need to give up their tickets. They need to give them up, because Sunday's the match of the year for us so far. There are no excuses for this, for the fan base, for the players. There's no excuses for anybody associated with Chelsea not to be on point on Sunday morning.
Fair enough. Yeah. So given what you just said, it's I feel honored, because if that's your thoughts about the fan channel and you decide to come on, it's appreciated. Yeah, and yeah, go on. You wanted to say something?
Well, I think sometimes some of these fan channels are full of negativity, and negativity breeds negativity, and it's it's just not. That's just not what I'm looking for. I'm looking. I want us to be positive. I want you see these guys get on there and scream, and just I'm too old for that shit. I don't need that kind of stress. I get stressed enough watching these boys play, but I don't need to hear a bunch of guys just saying things that are unkind and cruel, and they want to see individuals suffer sometimes, it seems, and I'm just not into that. I just want us to do well, and I think it's important, as I said, if the match against Liverpool Sunday doesn't get the fan base excited, if it doesn't, these, having played athletics, these are the moments when that little bit of a butterfly in your stomach, that's when you're excited to be able to compete against the best, in order that you can show that you belong on that pitch, in order that you can show that you are up to the challenge. That's the opportunity that I see for Sunday. That's an opportunity for us to lay down a marker of, this squad belongs. We hit a blip around Christmas. We're back. We're in control of our own destiny, and we are going to do what we need to do to ensure that the club has Champions League football next year. I don't want to be, in and about a channel that's, just full of negativity on players and, get this guy out, out of our club. These guys are professionals, and, everybody has a bad day. I have a bad day about 3 times a week. So if I were to be fired every time I had a bad day, I would have been out of a job a long time ago.
Yeah, just quickly, somebody's asking, who is the man of the match?
Well, for me, I really think Sancho had a good match today. I really do. Probably, the convenient pick is to give it to Nicolas Jackson because he had the brace, but I just thought Sancho had a really good outing today, and I find myself liking Sancho. I think if we can get him at the right money, I wouldn't want to send him back to United. So I hope we keep him, and I hope we just add to the squad. But for me, he was the man of the match. What about you?
Yeah, I think Sancho it's between Sancho and Enzo Fernández for me. I'd say that, considering Enzo Fernández created a lot of the chances and got 2 assists, I think.
And I am, I think Enzo being higher up the pitch is probably unlocked a little bit of his creativity. I'm now there's. I just want to make sure we're going to have a full squad Sunday, right? There's no one that's going to be out because of too many yellow cards or anything like that. I want to say there was some talk about Moises Caicedo might have had picked up, and then they were like, no, that was reset after this game. I mean, I certainly hope he's on the pitch Sunday.
No, he's fine. And obviously he's fit. I think Lavia is probably going to be available as well, but he didn't play this match. He got that rest.
I'm hoping Lavia is available.
Yeah. Big up to you, Yodi. Thank you for joining. It says big up Ty and Energy Dunk.
Hi,
big up to you, Yodi.
Yes. I think, what do you think of Lavia? Aside from it's odd. He's got the physique of he's just a stud athlete, but he's, and he's young, and it's bothersome when he gets injured, and you like, how can somebody, like, if you look at his physique, you'd be like, oh, he's a machine. He's going to be, he's going to be out there 100% of the time. So it's concerning that he has these little injury niggles that keep him out. I'm hoping it would be nice if we could count on having him for the remainder of the season. I think he's an impact player that can make a difference.
Yeah, and you know that the funny thing about what you just said a while ago is the fact I think Wesley Fofana and Romeo Lavia have been very crucial in what Maresca wants to do. He's had to find solutions. As it works all the time, I don't think so. But what I will say is that yeah, with Lavia, he's had injury problems from Southampton days. One of the biggest things, and Jesus is big up to, he just kind of mentioned it as well. He was overplayed at Southampton, and obviously in terms of how he was, training and all that last season, he hasn't had surgery. All of that hasn't happened, and as a result, you're gonna have injuries. And if you don't have surgery and you keep trying to let it fix itself on its own without doing any sort of surgery, then obviously you realize that it either goes one of two ways: you get better or you get worse. So I don't know. I don't know if he has to get surgery. If he does, then fantastic. Let him get surgery. I know people say that surgery will hamper a player's potential and all of that. But if it's a case where it's so recurring as it is with Lavia, then maybe surgery will have to be the case if he picks up another injury, which I hope not. James has had surgery. He hasn't had any injuries. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So in that sense, if you do that, then fine. Wesley Fofana, I'm worried about him as well because Wesley Fofana, he gets himself injured. He does a lot of um, risky things and then he injures himself. I remember the last time he got injured, he was out for a while. He was from him trying to, I think he tripped on the ball. He got the ball back in defense and he tripped over the ball and he pulled his hamstring. So he causes harm to himself. So with Fofana, it's kind of different. Obviously, he's been an injury-prone player from Leicester City days, and slightly when he was in France with Saint Etienne and all that. So I think in terms of that, my concern is that Lavia is so good. I hope he can find a way to remain fit because he has shown that he can be a promising player when fit. But surely I think Lavia will be in the squad next season. I think if he can keep him fit, then he's a fantastic player to have. I know we have Dario Izogo. I don't think Izogo is ready. Personally, I don't think he's ready. But I think as Jesus King said here, Lavia's injury issues is one of the reasons why we got Izogo. I don't think it's the only reason, but I think it's one reason for sure. And obviously we know that Matthias Mogo, who's probably going to go off to Strasbourg, will be probably loaned out, and we have Andrea Santos who could come back. He can play that role as well. He can play as an advanced midfielder as well. So we have a squad that is promising. Big up to you, Jesus is King, and I hope you're good. Thank you for joining. That's what I think. I respect Lavia. I have a lot of love for Lavia as a player, but he is worrying. He worries me a lot in terms of how easily injured he gets, and I think that he either gets surgery or you have to manage his minutes. But when he was managing minutes, he got injured anyway, so I don't even know if it's about managing minutes. Maybe surgery may have to be the solution, but we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully, he doesn't get injured again this season. 4 matches left, plus in the Premier League and other matches as well. So we'll see what happens.
And if we make Champions League next year, I mean, that's one of the things that's people criticize. Oh, Chelsea's got a big squad. Well, if you make Champions League football, you need a big squad. You need, you've got to have the players to compete.
Yeah.
2 times, 3 times every 10 days.
People watching.
Yep, and so I
Sorry,
think
I'm just trying to get my audio back. My audio is gone.
I think that having a big squad, having a talented squad is important, and having players, those injury-prone players, I think you have to manage them and manage their minutes so that we don't end up blowing a guy out who's 21 or 22 years old, and I guess sometimes you think, well, if a guy's prone to have injuries and he gets the surgery, does he come back better? Is it a $6 million man type situation where the surgery fixes the root problem, and that then allows that player to be on the pitch on a regular basis? I don't know. I hope we have no injuries. I hope we get the players back that have been injured, but I certainly want to see. I think you're right. I think Wesley Fofana is an immensely talented player. He glides across the pitch and he moves with the knees, but sometimes, as you said, he's a he's he's a little bit clumsy, and you're right. He trips on the ball. It's amazing how a player can have that talent and can trip on the ball. It's like how does that happen? How are you that athletically gifted and then just make a what seems like a routine play turns into oops, I've injured myself.
Mhm. Yeah. Big up to you. I know who this is, Josie Auntie. Big up to you. She's asking, are we ever going to get the best out of Romeo Lavia? Do you think so?
Not 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 this year. Not this year. Not this year. I think he can have an impact during this last month, and I think we may see flashes. We may see flashes of what he can be, but I don't think we'll get the best out of him this year. I think we get the best out of him next year when he has a full-on preseason. We can get through the preseason next year uninjured. I think you may see Romeo Lavia being a dominant force for the Chelsea squad. I think he's that good. I think you brought up a great point. He was run to the ground at Southampton, and I don't think it's beneficial to these players. Sometimes I don't think it's to their benefit that they play on a squad that somehow I don't want to say takes advantage of, but looks at it like he's young, he can go, he's not hurt, put him right back out there, put him right back out there, put him right back out there. Then there's a little injury, and then because of his talent, you want him to be on the pitch immediately. As soon as he says he's ready, you want to put him back in. But maybe that's not what we need to do. Maybe we need to say when the doctor says you're ready, and then we have a management philosophy in place that says when the doctor says you're ready, this is going to be our schedule of minutes. So I certainly hope to see Romeo out there Sunday. I expect to see him. I'm excited about what we could see on Sunday. I think Chelsea may put down a marker, and if we do, Tyrone, everybody's going to throw it up that, well, Liverpool were on the beach. They didn't really try. They didn't really care. There'll be some excuse to try to negate what I think will be the quality of our victory on Sunday. I think there'll be an attempt to lessen. I think there'll be an attempt to lessen it by saying, well, Liverpool was, they've already clinched it, so they didn't care. But I don't want us to get caught up into that. I want us to look at what I think is going to be maybe one of our top performances of the year come Sunday. That's what I'm looking forward to. I don't think that the game tonight was as taxing on us because they came at us. We got out front. I think we were comfortable. We were not pressing physically or mentally. I think we'll need to do all of that Sunday, and we need to come out fast. Hey, Bobby. Big up, Bobby.
Big up to you, Bobby.
Hey, big up. This is that
Energy Dunk.
Who is it? Oh, Energy Dunk. Hi. Gosh, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
It's been too long. It's been too long, Bobby. And what do you think of the effort tonight, Bobby? I thought we looked good. And Tyrone correctly brought up the fact that when these teams come at us, we can put something on them.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just have to beat what's put in front of you, don't you? You know, was it a fantastic performance? It didn't need to be. The superiority is clear. The only thing I don't like is two issues I tried to raise on X. One, this idea of our forward play. We don't shoot enough on target. You know, we don't shoot enough on the sight of goal. We keep trying to dribble the ball into the net. It's frustrating to watch and it's unnecessary. It makes it difficult for us to win games and win them as convincingly as we should. And the only other thing I don't like is yes, I know we're vertically challenged. That's quite clear. But goodness me, you know, we have a set piece coach. I know he can't do anything about the physicality issue, but must we lose every single aerial ball from an offensive or defensive set piece? We've got to do better at that. We really do. I'm tired of seeing opposing teams beat us to headers, both offensively and defensively. But apart from that, overall, we are certainly the better team. And hopefully, if unless we do something stupid, we should be talking about how we can navigate a final.
Fair enough.
I agree. I think we put the return to bed today. So I think that allows. Well, Bobby, let's talk about it. When you're that far in front on the return leg, does that allow the coach to? Does he say, "Well, I'm going to play some of the youth," or I'm going to, look ahead to who we might have in the final? I mean, all those things are possible when you're out in front that far. Um, After an away win, I just think it puts the entire coaching staff and the squad in a better position when you're comfortably out front.
I personally don't think that should be the mindset. We shouldn't be thinking like that at all. Yes, we've won the first leg, just like we did against the Polish side. We won it convincingly. Then when they came to the bridge, we started acting very stupid and didn't win that game. I think this time we have to just say, okay, this one is won, but we take it as if it was just the first half and it's 0-0, and take it from there. That is a winning mentality. We can't just say, oh, we've done a good job, pat ourselves on the back, and say, oh, we're so far ahead that we can't be caught up. Because football doesn't work like that, unfortunately. You should always be at this level of professionalism, prepared to finish the job and finish it convincingly.
Nice. What are you thinking? What are you thinking for Sunday?
Now, Sunday is another kettle of fish, isn't it? A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Liverpool won't take it seriously," and I beg to differ. I think they are champions. They'll want to prove they're champions, and the Chelsea-Liverpool rivalry should never ever be underestimated. We don't have many friends in the Premier League, if any at all, and certainly not the likes of people like Liverpool. You know, Liverpool attitude towards us is at par with, you know, Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, you name it. You know, so they would like to inflict pain on us. Now, if we take control of the game and do what we should do, I can't see them necessarily busting a gut. You know, they'll try, but you know, there's nothing really at stake. So it's really up to us to stamp our authority, show that we are the team that has something to play for, and go for it. You know, a draw or a loss is not an option. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Forest drew today." Yes, that's a good. I mean, lost today. Yes, that is a good result for us, but we must take advantage of it. We've known that we've been in these positions and not utilized it, and we can't afford to do that with 4 games left to play, and Forest being one of them. And they're all against our rivals and against people that would like nothing more than to spoil the party, as it were, if it can be called a party, like Man United. So we've got to make sure that at this point in time, if there's any weakness to be had from Liverpool, we're right there to exploit it. But, I'm not holding my breath on that. We must come out with our A game, as always, against them.
I agree. And if you
Fair enough.
remember, you remember last year, Liverpool quote unquote played the kids, and the quote unquote kids played our ass right off the pitch. So I don't think we need to relax or assume that Liverpool are on the beach. They're not going to give us the game. We're going to have to win it, and I think that's exactly what we need to do.
Oh, 100%. 100%. We're going to have to win that game. The Premier League is not. If there's one thing I always say in the Premier League, there are 2 things that you must always bear in mind. One, every single game is an almighty fight. And 2, while you're playing the game, you have to fight for the right to play. That's why physicality is so important in the Premier League. You've got to be able to deal with it. You fight, you battle. You basically, one, make sure you don't get beaten up, and make sure that you are dominating the other team physically, and then you can play your game. While Chelsea teams of old was so great, was that and indeed the current, well, more recently, Man City, before they've hit their slump now, were good, was that they could mix it up. The physical stuff, they'll take you on with that and then wear you down to the point where their class is then allowed to show. So we've got to be ready. With Liverpool, they are a technical team, very technical, but they're also very physical as well. We have to go toe to toe with them. We must be ready to fight them on Saturday. Just view it as a fight. This is a big fight for us, a fight that we have to win.
Absolutely, absolutely agree, and I'm in total agreement that it's a must win. We must secure the 3 points.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right, so I just want to quickly do this. So just looking at the rating for the players. George playing centrally. It didn't really work out the way that Maresca probably wanted it in terms of his scoring. But what are you guys think about his performance, Tyreek George?
Do you know what? He's not a striker, so I mean that's obvious. He did a fairly good job considering his age. I mean, we don't have a choice, do we? I don't know what's happened with Nkunku. I mean, is it a serious injury? Is it a faked injury? What is the situation with that? Does anybody know? Because George was only there because Nkunku wasn't. Did he rip up trees? No. But did he do himself any harm? No, he didn't. So it wasn't considering the result, his contribution wasn't something we should be too worried about.
I agree with that assessment, Bobby. I think, and obviously a young player, when a manager says, I need you to go in at this position, a player who wants minutes as badly as some of the youngsters for Chelsea want minutes, I think he jumps on whatever position the gaffer says he wants him to play, and I think he gives an effort. But I think you're right. It's pretty obvious he's not a striker.
Oh, yes.
Big up to you, DJ.
Yeah, big up Ty, big up Bobby, and big
Hey,
up to
DJ.
you. Yeah, big up to the other gentleman. I don't think I've ever spoken to him before. Big up to him as well. How you guys all doing? You all good?
Yeah, all good. Big up, DJ.
Excellent. Yeah, what can I say? Good result for us tonight. Can't say job done. Obviously, we conceded a last minute goal, but hey, I don't think we should have any issues in the second leg. And we hopefully can move on to the final now. And I don't know if he's going to put a lot of the younger players out in the final. Sorry, in the in the second leg. But a great victory tonight. I was very proud. Obviously, I wanted to see obviously Cole Palmer get on the goal sheet tonight, but he obviously didn't score. But hopefully, we can now move on to Liverpool on Saturday now, or Sunday, sorry, which will hopefully we can now and obviously Forest have done as a favourite. Brentford have done as a favourite today as well, which is even better. So yeah, all good. A good night for Chelsea all round tonight. Can't complain.
I agree. I think it's and if we look at the table right now, our destiny is in our hands. So, it's important that the players step up to that challenge. And, Bobby, does a coach say to a squad, where we are, this is where we are in the table. This is the destiny. We control our own destiny. Does the manager say that or no?
She won't.
I think this coach has to say to them, yes, possibly that. But I think he has to just say to them that they can't afford to lose. That this is a time they must stand up and be counted. It's as simple as that. There's no stone that should be left unturned for that game against Liverpool. I don't take them for granted, as I've said. I think they are still very, very, very much a threat. And, you alluded to the point that when they supposedly played kids against us, although kids mixed in with some very experienced guys, I may add, they showed what they can do. So we must be at our very best. We must be at our very best. Both the players and the coaches. The coaches can't just leave it all down to the players. There are some things that need sorting out. Like I pointed out today, the set piece situation, offensively and defensively, it's not really good enough. And the fact that when trying to dribble the ball into the net, we must take shots. If you notice, when we do take shots, we're scoring some good goals. Vis-a-vis Jackson's second goal, you have to shoot. We're not shooting in front of goal. And that's
Bobby,
my
that's such a great point. And that begs the question. You see it, other fans, does the coaching squad not see that? I mean, do you pull a player over to the side and say, shoot? I mean, what is it? Is it you're trying to walk the ball in? I mean, what is it about, our squad that can't seem to pull the trigger? It's like, and I know it, I liken it, Bobby, to a boxing match where you see guys get in and they have a fight plan and then they just can't get their punches off. I know you've seen that, and it seems a little bit of what we've got. But
I
you're right
think
on that Jackson second goal. That was a well earned goal and well done on the left side as well.
yeah, shooting. You see, I blame Maresca for that. I think he's too intentional in passing the ball. Pass, 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 pass at the back, at the middle. You know, it has its time and it has its place. But we do have players that can take shots, and they're not taking shots, such that whenever they do now, because they're not used to it, it's very wayward. You know, Reece James, who's excellent at taking shots, now you're seeing him ballooning the ball up towards the stands. We must shoot, and against Liverpool, it'll be a problem for us if we don't take shots.
100%.
DJ, what do you have to say? You've been conflict.
No, bro. Listen, I agree. I think we are seeing this sort of, I don't know, of late. I don't know. It seems like the players don't seem to want to shoot like we used to do before. And one thing I like today about this kid Walsh that came on, the first shot and strike, he hit it straight away, and the goalkeeper saved it. And this is a young kid who's just come off the bench, yeah, making his debut today, right? And he's showing everyone else on the pitch how to shoot. Just do it one time. But like we said, like Bobby and energy Donks basically just said, we're not doing it for whatever reason or another. I don't know if it's been Jordan ahead. I mean, I keep going back to what Maresca said a couple of weeks ago, that if a certain player doesn't do as he asks, he knows he's going to be dropped. I think he said that about Enzo Fernández. I think if he doesn't do what I ask him to do, he knows he's going to be sitting on the bench. So is he rattle these players that much that now they're going to be dropped if they don't do as he wants them to do? Because before, when we were winning games at the start of the season, before the Christmas period, every little shot we were smashing them. We were getting goals left, right, and centre. Yeah, but for whatever reason, the second half of the season, we've just completely neglected that, and the players just don't seem to want to be doing what they were doing before. So, again, is it a coaching thing? I think it might. I think it comes down to that. I just think Maresca needs to have a bit more confidence in his players. And rather than this pass back, sideways passing, backwards pass, it gets boring after a certain time. Sometimes you look at the players on the pitch, yeah, and sometimes I don't think they even know what they're doing. Sometimes, yeah, because they don't know whether to
It's not
shoot
just
or whether to
boring.
pass. I know.
It becomes so ineffective as well.
Yeah,
He has to get them shooting.
yeah, and then the other teams that we're playing against us, the opposition, they're going to figure it out straight away, and they'll go and get a goal against us. So, yeah, it's something we need to quickly do, especially with the last the last 3 games we got left of the season, within the Premiership now. The last 4 games we got left, we've got to go, because like Bobby said, our season for me now begins against Liverpool on Sunday, and we've got to go and get that win. People are saying, "Oh, Liverpool are going to be there drinking it out, being on the beach." Not going to be worried about the game because they're champions. Believe me, mate, they're going to still want to turn up at Stamford Bridge and get something out of that game. So we've got to make sure we're ready, and Maresca's got to make sure he rallies the troops up to do that, for me personally.
That's a proper shout right there. I agree.
Yeah, quickly, I just want us to do this. Chelsea Auntie, I've shared a link to your channel, trying to get some support for you. I was asking if you have X, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that, so I can contact you for a collab or something. But I've shared the link here. I would like for you guys to show some support her. She does the clips and into reactions to the matches. It's a new channel, so it's awfully new, and the subscribers are at 12. So I want to see if we can help her get more. But thank you for watching the stream. I appreciate it. But just quick want to do that. What were you guys saying before that?
I think
Sorry.
that we're referencing the fact that, and I'm like DJ. I like the fact that the kid came in immediately, rocketed one at the goalie, and as Bobby said, when you're not shooting, we're shooting them in the stands. Put the ball on net. Make the goalie work. You know what? How many times have you seen a goalie have a howler? How many times have you seen him try to make a play and the ball ends up at the feet of a striker who's prowling around inside the box for an easy tap in? We don't seem to be getting those easy goals, those, or what some people call garbage time goals, where, but if you put the goaltender under pressure, that basically enhances the chances that he makes a mistake and you get an easy one once in a while. It's nice not to have 70 passes and no shots on the possession. It just blows my mind that we do that shit.
We've lost Bobby. What do you have to say about that, DJ?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, yeah. Again, first of all, just say big up to CFC Garvin in the chat. Big up to you, bro. I hope you're keeping well. Yeah. As I said earlier on, it's something we need to start doing more of. And I just think that at this moment in time, it seems like it's strange saying that we've lost our way of getting goals like we used. I mean, today I was actually happy we got 4 goals today. All right, which was great. But we could have had more today. And there were some plays that had. There were some plays I thought in games today where they were in better positions to shoot rather than pass. But it was like
Exactly,
pass,
DJ.
pass, and they didn't do
Exactly.
it. I mean, as for Cole Palmer, I mean, the guy, you can tell the guy's completely got no confidence, because I don't know if you saw at one point, he ran into the box, and usually that last season, that boy he shoots and the ball goes in the back. He hesitated to shoot, and then he took the ball wide. The goalkeeper, I don't know if you guys can remember that in the game.
Perfect example of what you're saying right there. That's exactly 100% spot on what you just said. That's a great example, because when that happened, I was like, last year he doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't. I know he's come back from this injury or whatever, and I don't know, because I don't think his confidence is shot that much that he won't shoot from there. I don't know if he's been told by the manager not to do it, or make sure he passes to somebody else in a better position. But there was no one really else out to go. All he had to do was really just shoot it. But he decided to take another extra touch to take it round the goalkeeper, but he lost the ball, and that was it. The chance was gone. So, in that kind of way, he needs to find his confidence. We need him to start firing as well, this kid, because I think we all know what a quality player Cole Palmer is on his day. And, and he know what a finisher he is as well on the ball. He's just excellent with the ball, but his confidence is so low at the moment. And, you've got to ask the question, why is it that bad? I know they say players regress, but I don't think it gets to the stage of, has he regressed that badly for him to be not doing what he knows best to usually do? I don't think so. There must be more to it than that. So I just hope Maresca is not taking that out of his game, because if he is, then he's ruining the player for sure, which I think is the wrong thing to do. Because everyone was saying we were Cole Palmer FC last season. Now let's be real here, guys. If it wasn't for Cole Palmer's goals last season, we would have been relegated, and that's just the facts.
100%.
Yeah?
100%.
So this season, he started off well, but he's just dropped so badly. And I'm not going to come on to the kid, because I know a lot of the fans are coming on to him. And I'll say one thing: always remember one thing. If it wasn't for his goals last season, we would have been relegated. So for me, I'm giving him a bit of a break, because I know there's a player in him, and I always look at him and I say, for me, Cole Palmer is a future Ballon d'Or winner. For me, I look at that kid because he's got so much about him. Yeah. He just needs to have the right manager to get it out of him, and obviously we know Poch did it last season, but is Maresca regressing him this season? I don't know what you guys think of that.
I think that's a great shout, and when you look at, as I said, DJ, when around the holiday time frame, Maresca talking down the team, I don't understand. It still pisses me off that it's rare for a coach to talk down his own team. I don't understand the mentality of the coach. You're supposed to be lifting that team up and those players up. And if we were second in the table, and Maresca's talking about, well, we're not ready, we're not, which implies you're not good enough. So who in the right mind would say to their own players, well, I don't think they're ready, I don't think they're quite good enough, I don't think they're up to the challenge. Well, you know what? That's when you say, yeah, we're good enough. We need to kick on again. And that's, challenge the players by saying, instead of, I don't think you're good enough, challenge the players by saying, hey, I think you're good enough to compete at the top of the tree. And I think you're right about Cole Palmer. I think he's a future Ballon d'Or winner. I think he's got an immense talent, and it's sorely lacking in execution on the pitch right now. And if it's not down to the coach, what else would it be down to? I would beg for somebody to give me an answer. If it's not down to Maresca, give me something that it's down to, because that's the only thing that's changed.
Wow. Right. So DJ came on and he mentioned Cole Palmer. I think that was one of the starting points that Energy Dunk and I spoke about, in terms of the fact that it's not just a blip. It's more than that. And I've said it, a lot of people are trying to be optimistic and saying that, oh, it's just a blip, you'll be fine. But no, the problem stems further than that. I was supposed to make a video about it and say what's really going on with Cole Palmer, but time didn't allow me to make it. But what I will say is that I'm concerned. I really am concerned about Cole Palmer. I hope he gets better, but I don't know. At the same time, what Energy Dunk has said numerous times now in the stream, what the manager did was so pathetic. He did multiple things, but that, in my opinion, was pathetic. And it shows poor man management. One thing is the way that he was playing certain players. He was barely playing some players in some intervals. He told some players that, oh, you're not gonna get matches because we have these players playing here, so you're not gonna play. And then when they leave, they're looked at as the enemy, because how dare you want to leave the club when the manager has literally said to you that you are not gonna get to play. We have these players who are way better than you. So you can't expect that. So that's one thing. The second thing is what Energy Dunk has mentioned, which is the fact of we're second in the league, and say, oh no, this team is not ready. Because you have teams like Man City and obviously Arsenal who have had the same manager for 6-7 years and all that garbage. So when you do that, you're literally stumbling on the mindset of these young players. The players, so even if they believed, and I'm not saying that they're going to win the league, because they weren't ready, but you never know. When you do things like that, momentum drops, because it's like, okay, we don't need to do this. And then that was when complacency kicks in. You become lackluster, lackadaisical, because your manager is saying, okay, don't believe in these things. Don't expect this, because that is not the case. You are not ready. You're not good enough. Don't do that. You don't do that. Even if you believe it, don't say it publicly. And I don't care if people say that. You probably say that for the sake of PR in person, in terms of press conference and all that, and probably say things differently behind the scenes. But when you say that publicly, you're gonna be messing with the mindset of these players, and I don't think that's one thing that he considered. But that's just me. I don't know what everybody else thinks. Chelsea Auntie is probably ignoring my message. I don't know why, but I keep seeing if she has any way I can contact her. But anyways, I'm gonna digress. Energy Donkey unmuted and DJ. First you Energy Donkey, then you can go.
I completely agree, and it seems, when you lay out our results on top of his public statements, it seems that our results began to wane when he was down in the squad. And I think you're right. Young players need the coach to show confidence in them, not to say, oh, if you make a mistake or don't do what I say, you're on the bench, or if I'm going out in the press conference and I'm saying it's almost like you're building an excuse for your lack of performance as a coach when you say, well, they're not good enough. Well, maybe they are good enough, and maybe you're not good enough,
Oh, mate, that's an excellent one. That's. I mean, I look at it from two angles, guys. Yeah. Either he's actually looking after these players and saying, look, you're not good enough they're not good enough to compete for the league or finish in the top 5 because that was not what I was told when I came to the club. Right now, for me, if he was already told that, right, yeah, why is he using his? For me, it looks like he's used his get out of jail card, which means because the team is doing so well and they've gone over their expectations, and all of a sudden if it starts dropping, yeah, he could get sacked because possibility they may sack him and say, well, you got us there, you got us actually there, and now we're finishing outside the top 5, which is not good enough for this club. Yeah. Okay, because if you think about it, we finished 6th last season. We want to better ourselves every season, right? So, Champions League is a must. Okay. Now, if the owners have sat, and now he's coming out and saying the directors have told him that it's not a priority to get top 4 for this season. If they've actually gone and put that in his head, okay, and he's gone and used that just to make sure it helps him out, because as we all know, second half syndrome with Leicester, with Maresca. We saw that with Leicester last season. He'd done so well up until Christmas, and then if you remember, the second half of the season, guys, they started dropping off. They almost lost that league title when they won it. So that's probably what's happened, and the same situation has now happened at Chelsea. But this is a bigger club you're dealing with, mate. You're not dealing with some small tin pot club, and no disrespect to Leicester, but you're not dealing with some small tin pot club. This is Chelsea Football Club. This is a club that's used to winning trophies. A club that's been up the pinnacle of literally every flipping trophy out there, and we're going for, because that's what we do. And you're now then coming out in your press conferences all of late now saying oh, well, we want to get Chelsea where we want to get them, which is to get into that top 4. This is where Chelsea belong to. This is where they belong now. Why? Okay, now all of a sudden he's saying that. Why is he saying that now when he turned it completely down at the second half of the season, saying they're not ready to compete for the top 4 or get a Premiership title? Now, as fans, we all knew, and I know for a fact because I said it on Ty streams. I said it. For me, Chelsea will not win a title this season. However, I'm confident from last season they can finish in the top 4 because the players have learnt with each other for a year. It'll be a second year they're going to be playing together. So for me, a top 4 is a definite. For me, I think this team can get that. And also they can win a trophy, depending on which one, whether it's a domestic trophy or a European trophy, right? They can do that, all right? So far, we're hopefully on course to win the European trophy. If that's what you want to call it, because obviously it completes the set, all right? But then top 5 for me is a must. And if we don't get that, then I'm going to call that a failure of a season, because we should really be in the Champions League. And let's be real, this ownership wants this Champions League. Even they might not want to compete in it, but they want it because it's bringing good money it's bringing good money in the coffers for the Champions League. So they want that. So we need to get it, and Chelsea need to be up there. But as I said, I just think Maresca is just used to get out of a jail card for me by coming out and saying that this club is not ready because they're ready. He knows they may sack him come the end of the season if he doesn't get the expectations that's expected of him. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know your thoughts on that, both of you.
I think for me personally, if we don't make Champions League, I think you have to sack him, don't you? I mean, everything you just said is an indication that we should be in Champions League, that we must be in Champions League. And if he doesn't do the job, and I would say this, if a sporting director said that about the club, the sporting director, when you fire Maresca, tell him to take the sporting director with him. That's if we don't make Champions League, for me, Maresca's gone, because it's, as you said, a failure.
I think we've lost Ty. Mate, I think we've lost him.
I think so. I didn't realize that, but I think that's 100% spot on. If we don't make Champions League, he's got to go.
No, I'm still
you're
here.
still there,
I'll
bro.
be back.
I thought you went off, bro. Sorry.
Oh, we lost you. I thought we lost you. But yeah, I think if you don't make Champions League, then 100% Maresca has to go. And if the sporting directors are saying that about the players, that they were paramount in getting signed for the club, and then saying that they don't think the players are good enough, well, what's that tell you about the sporting director? He's got to go too.
Well, it's called do you know what it is, bro? It's Brighton Football Club mentality, mate. Because that's where we got them from, didn't we? And because that's how they like to do their stuff. They don't like compete. All they like to do is buy the best youngsters and sell them for a profit. Yeah, that's what Brighton do. I don't think winning is a big thing for them as much as it is for Chelsea. And this is why I keep saying it. And I know some fans come at me for saying it, but I mean, I've been a fan for this. I've been a fan with this club for so many years, since the 80s. I go back. I've seen us win, lose, relegation, you name it, right? But our standards for me, but I've always believed that our standards have always, when I've started supporting the club anyway, our standards we've always been competing in cup competitions and winning a trophy along the way. It's just when obviously Roman came in, we went and took it to another level by winning the Premiership, and obviously the Champions League followed, and a couple of European trophies that followed that as well. So for me, Chelsea need to be in the mix every season in the Champions League. And whether we win it or not, it doesn't really matter, as long as we're in it. Because as I always say, you're in it to win it at the end of the day. And the players will always be up for playing in a competition like that, because you're playing against the world's elite teams, yeah, or Europeans' elite teams. And if we're gonna, we can't. I mean, let's be real here, right, guys? Yeah, this conference competition we're in at the moment, we can all sit here right now and say this is not Chelsea levels. We shouldn't even be in this competition, but we are.
100%.
Yeah, we are. And I think for this bunch of players that we've got at the football club at this moment in time, it's good for them and their confidence if we can go and win that trophy for them, because they're a young team. So that's why I'm looking at it in another angle of point of view and saying, okay, fair enough. For where we are as a club, and since things have always happened with Roman and these new owners coming in, for us as a club, that's not bad for this bunch of players. But bet your bottom dollar bill, if we get to the Champions League next season, the whole levels of chat is going to go up high levels again, which means these guys are going to have to bring experienced players in to help this team out for next season, because there's no way you can go with this team into a Champions League next season, because we'll be out of it so quickly. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that at all.
I agree. I think we need a couple of more, obviously, a couple of mature players that have been in the wars, know how to compete at the highest level, know what it is to be on the big stage. And I think you're right. I look at this conference league as an opportunity. Obviously, you want to win it if you're in it, number one. Number two, it is a financial windfall for the club, which is good. But obviously, we don't want to be. This is not where we want to be. We want to be in the Champions League, and we want to be competing. You know, that Barcelona game. I mean, what a match. I mean, the levels of excitement.
That's a classic match, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what you call elite football. That was, mate, elite football. That game last night. I mean,
stunning.
You can't. I mean, and Yamal, what a player he is, mate. Oh my days, what a player!
17 years old,
what's a player.
And that. I mean, that level of excitement, that atmosphere, that's where I want the club to be. I'm going to Sweden and playing these guys, and I mean, you want to win, but that's not where we want to be. We want to be on the big stage.
Yeah. I just want to quickly mention, because you guys have talked about a lot, but there's something that DJ said, and I brought up this on the screen just so we can simplify that, and I can explain. I said it when energy dunk. I can't even talk. My gosh, energy dunk was on. That we see that when we have the ball a lot and the team is dropping deep and allowing us to get the ball more, we tend to do poorly. We lost. And this is what happened last season with Leicester City. I'm going to show you. You can see some L's in there. I hope you guys can actually see the screen. If you're not, then
Yeah, I can see it.
I'll
I can see it.
I'll guide you. Right. So you can see the L, 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 L. So you see the 3 L's in a row.
Yeah.
Right. So if you realize something that is very popular there, barring the one in the middle, you have 71 possession. This is Leicester City, bearing in mind. The one in the middle is 40, so that one is on the other one. But if you look below that, 73 possession, they lost as well. If you look down here as well, right where the yellow highlighted thing is 72%.
72.
Possession.
Yeah.
And then that is 69%. 69% possession. So that is for Leicester. Let me go to Chelsea now. All right, this is kind of moving slow, but let me see what I can do. All right, so look at this now. So we didn't lose, but we drew because we couldn't score. Everton couldn't score. This is the game before Boxing Day, the 22nd of December.
Yeah.
Look at the possession, 75%.
Yeah.
We lost to Ipswich Town, 76% possession. So you see the pattern, you see the similarities.
Yeah, it is.
And then
very
you
much
go
similar.
down to and then where is it? The Brighton loss. I'm trying to find the Brighton loss as well. Where was that? When you lost 4 was it 4-1?
Is that the? I think you have to come down on that one, Tom.
Brighton.
Yeah, they done us in the cup as well, didn't? Did they do us in the cup as well? Was it Newcastle? I can't remember. Did they do us in one of the cup competitions as well? Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
you're right. When
yeah,
we get above that 70-75% possession, it does correspond to a lot of
3-0. We lost 3-0, not 4-1, 3-0.
Yeah, it corresponds to a lot of
69. Yeah, and we couldn't finish out dinner, could we?
So you can see the problem.
And I would be interested to know that in those matches where we dominate possession, how many, if you look at the number of completed passes, and it looks like it's a big number, but then the part they leave out is how many of those passes were sideways or backwards.
Exactly.
So true.
And that's why I hate stats. That's why I never use stats. I never use stats or anything.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, and there's only one stat that matters, and that's the damn scoreboard. And our drop off in the amount of shots on goal, work that goalkeeper, be aggressive, attack. When you're pass outside the 18-yard box, I think that to me, it breeds a lack of confidence because the players are not pulling the trigger. I don't want. You obviously you don't want Tosin shooting from 30 yards out, but if Cole Palmer's 20 yards out and puts it on the net, I'm okay with that. Make the goalie make the save. He can't, if it's not inside the uprights, it doesn't matter if he saves it because it's not going in. And you got to put the ball in position to score, and you can't do that if you pass sideways or backwards. You're not ever going to score passing sideways and backwards. And I think that's where we have fallen into that trap in certain games, and it's just, it grinds any momentum that the squad has. It grinds any momentum to dust, and it grinds any attack, an attack mindset of attack. Go at them, That's what I want. I want to see them go at these teams. I want to see them go at Liverpool on Sunday. Don't, let's go out man on man. Don't take a step back. Don't get bossed on the pitch. Get out there and dominate the game.
Yeah. I totally agree. Energy Dunk, I totally agree with that. I think this is, as I said now, they talk about every game being a final. I think every game being a final starts against Liverpool on Sunday for me.
100%.
We've got to go out there, be the home team as we are, be the aggressors, get the win.
100%.
Okay, Liverpool, as it is, the worst thing of all is we have to give this mob a guard of honor, which is not going to be that great to see that. But hey, it's what it is at the end of the day, right? And the
Yeah.
worst thing of all is seeing Paul Caicedo and Lavia giving that guard of honor. Bear in mind the history of them almost joining Liverpool in the summer
Yep.
of last season, so they have to give that guard of honor. And I can already see the Liverpool fans on Twitter right now already. I've already seen it already on some tweets already saying, well, there you go, Lavia and Caicedo. Imagine what you could have been in. You could have been the ones getting the guard of honor had you joined us. I've already seen all that nonsense by the Liverpool fan base already. So, look, we need to go out there, give them their guard of honor, worthy winners. Can't take it away from them. The Premier's not been that great. They deserve to win it. Every other team's been crap. But hey, Liverpool took advantage of that, played good, and they deserved it. So you've got to take your hats off in that way, even though I don't like the football club. But basically, after that guard of honor's done, you go out there and you just show them, okay, you want your flipping Premiership champions, but we're still Chelsea. We're still playing as at our home ground, and we're not
There
going
you
to just
go.
let you turn up at Stamford Bridge and beat us. And
There
this is
you go.
this is the mindset that these players should already have in their heads. And I'm hoping both Lavia and Caicedo start this game on Sunday, because that mindset will be in their heads to say, okay, I've not joined your club, but we're here. You're at my ground now. You're playing for my club that I've signed for, and we're going to show you how it is. Yeah, but this is what they've got to go and do, and I'm really hoping they'll do that, and hopefully Cole Palmer turns up in that game and gets a couple of goals as well.
See,
But it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game.
That's the mindset. Obviously, I won't be on the pitch. You won't be on the pitch, but that's the mindset that I want our players. You know what? We're begrudgingly doing this, but when that clock starts, we're going to put it on your ass for 90 minutes. And that's what I want them to do to Liverpool. I want them to play Liverpool off the pitch. I don't want them to, I want us to dominate this match on Sunday. I don't want to draw. I want us to put out a performance of the year type match on Sunday where people say, wow, where's that Chelsea been?
Exactly, bro. And to be fair, and the thing of all is, it's set in stone. Brentford have done us a favour tonight, and we've now got to take advantage of that.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So we've got to go out there and do it. And let's be real, you've obviously got Newcastle and Man City are obviously above us. If we win on Sunday, my understanding is if we win on Sunday, I'm not sure when Manchester City and Newcastle play their games, but I do believe we can go in third spot on Sunday if we win.
We
I think, or second, second or third. Yeah.
Going into Sunday, because City are hosting Wolves on Friday tomorrow. So if Wolves can get a result at City, and Sunday morning Brighton host Newcastle. So if Brighton could get a result on Sunday morning, by the end of business Sunday afternoon, Chelsea could be alone in third place.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? I would be thrilled if we were there, but honestly, that's where we should be. We should be in third. We should be in second. We should have been above second, to be honest with you. And it would. I mean, I would be absolutely thrilled if both Brighton could do us a favor, if Wolves could do us a favor, because Brentford did us a huge favor today. It'd be nice to take advantage of the opportunities if they happen. If we get the breaks on the other games, that means if those two results go our way, we absolutely have to come out on fire on Sunday at the Bridge against Liverpool.
Yeah, spot on.
I don't know. I've never played organized soccer. I don't know if the coach, having played other sports, basketball, baseball, football, I don't know if a soccer coach yells at the players to try to, I don't know what the pre-match talk is about. Is it, oh, I hope you guys do good. I don't know what it is he uses to motivate or how he does. But if we get those two results, both Friday and Sunday morning, whatever motivational speech he has deep inside of him needs to come out, and they need to come out on fire and get on top of Liverpool and stay on top of Liverpool.
Yeah. Big up to Puggy there. What they're saying. Yeah, that's because that's what we hope for. Yeah, I know it's DJFC and Donk FC. Yes, because we want to see our team win.
Yes,
not this way of Maresca playing what he's doing at the moment, man.
Let me read what he says. It is laughable what the panelists are saying. This is Maresca FC, not DJFC or Dunk FC, that we will show ambition and fight. So and it's kind of hilarious what he says there as well. Let me show you what he has below that. So he says, no way. We are being delusional. 0% chance for Chelsea to make top 4. That's not true. That's not true. And I have to disagree with you, Puggy. Because there's
Puggy
not a 0% chance.
Puggy sounds like a wind-up merchant.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. He does.
Save that screenshot. And then at the end of the season, let's see if Puggy was right.
Yeah, but all right, I just want to quickly say this though. I get what he's saying, and I've already said it. We're not getting top 4. That's my thoughts. But it's not 0%. It cannot be 0% when we are 1 point behind 4th. It can't be 0%. But we will not get it. That's my thoughts. But it's not 0%. We can get it, but I don't see us get it. It's not impossible. Just like it's possible for us to get second, but we're not going to get second.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ty. Are we not 3 points behind third at the moment? At this moment in time, the way the table is out now with all the teams,
2.
2 points behind. So 2 points behind second place, behind third place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that obviously depends on the games of Newcastle and Manchester City. So look, listen, I can understand why. Yeah, listen, I can understand why Puggy feels the way he does. I think because the way our season has basically gone, I can understand that, and but we've got to find some confidence and motivation from somewhere because, at the end of the day, for me the players are good enough to get us in that position. It's just the way they're being managed, and I get yes, Maresca doesn't play the game; he can only give the instructions. But I love to be a fly on the wall in the Chelsea changing rooms before a match is kicked off and find out exactly what he tells these players and how he motivates them. Because, for me, I think they'll go out there. I think if he didn't come out with what he comes out of and says, oh, well, if they don't do what I want them to do, then Enzo knows he's going to be benched. If Sanchez doesn't do what I ask him to do, he's going to be benched. When you're hearing comments like that, why are you telling the players? Why are you taking the best out of players out of their game? If that's what they're best at doing, why is this manager finding a way of demotivating that? I don't understand. And he comes on his press conferences week in, week out now, since we lost to Brighton. Oh, we need to get back into the Champions League. Yeah, this is where Chelsea belongs. Well, yeah, of course we know we belong there. Us fans have been saying this for years, bro, before you even joined the club. We are a Champions League squad that wins and competes for titles every season. Year in, year out, week in, week out. But since you've come to the club, and the last other couple of managers that have come there, your Jellyfish Potters and your what's his name, Pochettino last season, you've not taken us there, and you are not either at this moment in time. This is what I'm trying to say. The players need to sometimes take the ball by the horns and just go out there and do it themselves. Forget what the manager's instructions are. If they want to go and win and get top
but
four,
that's
whatever.
So funny. When you finish, I'm going to say something.
You do it. Yeah, go on.
It's so funny. The Fulham win. I don't think that was Maresca. I don't think it was because the pattern of play. That's not how Maresca wants his team to play. I genuinely believe, and probably that's because I'm Maresca out.
Yeah,
but I genuinely believe that he literally just said, "You know what? Go out there and do something." Tyreek George came on. Tyreek George just did absolutely he just took the game by the scruff of his neck. and just got a goal. And that explains why he also played Tyreek George centrally, because he said, okay, Tyreek George came on against Fulham and look what he did. That was that goal, those 2 goals, that was not Maresca ball. If anything, that looked like touch ball.
Yep.
The running, the constant running, the quick movement of the ball. And it reminded me of how Chelsea were playing as when the season just started, when the way Pochettino wanted them to play and all that would have still been fresh in their heads. Obviously, we saw what happened with the whole high line thing, because that's how Pochettino played. So we lost embarrassingly to Real Madrid. We lost embarrassingly to Man City. So we saw that. And it constantly worked because teams were giving us that freedom and that space. But I don't think that win, even the Everton match, I'm gonna be cynical. That's not even a Maresca win. That is a Willy Caballero win. So that is just me. You can call me delusional, Poggy, but that's just my thoughts. I don't think that the way that they played that's what Maresca wants them to play. We saw Maresca ball today, but the mistakes that Djurgården made it look as good as it did as well. We did tremendous. Don't get me wrong, but it was not the greatest. Or it would not have been the greatest, I should say, if we're facing off against a team that would be more physical, a team that is not giving you the freedom with the ball and not trying to hit you on the counter massively as you got to try to do, but couldn't pounce on the chances. So I'm not being a hater, and I'm appreciative of the performance. The team did well, but as you said, DJ, I think the players just did something for the results against Fulham. I don't think that was Maresca ball, because that's not how Maresca wants his team to play. He gave them freedom to do what they did. So that's just my thoughts.
Well, do you know? Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say quickly before you go, Energy. If you noticed after that game as well, guys, right? Did he go and celebrate with the players when they got that win? He went straight down the tunnel.
Yep,
exactly.
Yep.
So that more or less is what you're more or less saying there is exactly it. The players went out there and done it, and they went to celebrate with the fans.
Even when Neto scored, he didn't even go to him.
Yeah.
Well,
so it ruined his plans, didn't it? Obviously. Yeah. Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, I just want to say, DJ, that's you made a great point, and that is this: we have a Champions League squad, and if they don't make Champions League, for me, Maresca's got to go, because we have a squad that should result at the end of the campaign in our being in the Champions League. And if we don't make Champions League, everybody's got injuries and that's not an excuse. We have a deep enough, talented enough squad where if we don't make Champions League, it's down to the coaching staff. And you know what? I would fully expect, I don't know how you feel about this. I'm finally getting to my question. But if we don't make Champions League, I think Maresca's got to go. What do you guys think?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Go on, DJ.
For me, Energy don't anti. I've said it already. Even if we'll make Champions League football, he still has to go, because I don't believe he is going to be able to do the Premiership plus managing the Champions League. Because he doesn't have the caliber to do that.
Wow.
And for me, and this is no disrespect on him. Yeah, he can sit there and say, "Well, I had my little running in the Conference Cup, so I've got that European competition. I've got that European experience behind me." Well, no, you don't, bro, because this is a completely different kettle of fish, mate. We're talking about Europeans' elite clubs in this competition, not your Swedish teams that we played today, not the Polish team we played last week, Legia Warsaw, and so on, like Panathinaikos. And Panathinaikos actually are not a bad team either, because they do get into the Champions League sometimes. So I'm talking about other clubs that are in this competition, right? We are playing against Europe's best and elite's best, right? So you need to be ready for that. And I don't think, for me personally, I don't think he's the kind of manager that you need a winner to come and do that. But the problem I'm going to say is, but at the same time, I'm going to say there's no point even thinking it or even saying to sack him, because while these directors are here, I don't trust them to go make the right decision to go and bring the next manager in again, because they're going to go and bring another yes man in. So I'd rather have Maresca probably just stay there and see what you can do. Or if they're going to change the direction in the summer, get rid of the 2 directors, bring in Luis Campos from PSG. If he decides, yes, I want to keep Maresca, give him a season because he got us into the Champions League, so be it. He goes by it. If he says, nah, he's not the guy for us, I think there's better out there to go and get to help us in this and also manage Premiership games. For me, there are a couple of managers out there. I've said names already that are available you can go and get. One of them who I know is available right now to go and get, and I've said his name numerous of times on this on Ty's platforms, is Xavi Hernandez. You go and get this guy. Not only is he one,
Hernandez.
yeah, Xavi, yeah, the one who played for Barcelona, bro, managed Barcelona.
Oh, you mean okay? I understand.
Xavi. It says that's his actual proper real name. Xavi. If you read it, it's actually Xavi Hernandez. That's his name, right? You go and bring him in. Yeah, so you go by Xavi, but that's his proper real name. You go and bring him in. Not only is he actually managed teams in the Champions League with Barcelona, he's also gone and won La Liga, and he was the one who brought Yamal through. He brought Pedri through. He brought all these guys that you see now at Barcelona in this moment in time. He's the guy who brought all these players through. So he can do bringing the kids through, and he can also manage experienced players as well. That's the kind of manager you want in your squad. And the minute a manager like that comes through that door, the players are straight away going to look at this guy and say, I know what this guy has won this competition. Let's go and play for him. And that's that. He brings that aura straight to the dressing room when he walks in there. I don't want your guys' thoughts on that.
I just want to quickly say something. I'm going to read what Puggy says as well. But this is one thing I want to say. It's kind of slipping out, but I'm going to quickly remember. Right, so based on what Energy Dump asked, I agree. And, similar to what DJ said, and I think Puggy has mentioned this before in the past, if we don't get Champions League football, the season is a failure. We make the Conference League beautiful. We're the first team ever to win every European cup or trophy, European trophy. Fantastic, but that's not even something to be happy about. Especially if you don't progress from where you were. I always see people say if you get more than 63 points, then that's a progression because Pochettino got 63. So if you get more than 63, that's more. But if you finish 6th, and you finish 6th before, then obviously that's not a progression. So that's my thought. And then second of all, Xavi Hernandez, I don't know. I never thought about him as an option. Would he come in as well? Is he a yes man? I don't know. And he just said that. A yes man is what they want. And that's what they got the rest of. Only reason.
But bro, Ty, I said it on the basis of not. No. I said it on the basis of. I don't know if you heard what I said. Basically, I said, okay, Xavi Hernandez only comes in if Luis Campos is our new director.
So you're talking about a total clear out at the top. And
completely. Which is not going to happen. That's why I said it's not going to happen. Unless these owners decide to get rid of these guys, there's no point sacking Maresca. You keep him. I'd rather him stay there because at the moment, there's probably no better other yes man out there that you can go and get. And I certainly don't want to get I certainly don't want to get the waistcoat merchant Gareth Southgate coming to our football club.
No,
I certainly don't want. I certainly don't want. Or what's the guy, the ex-Everton man coming to our football club, or even Big Sam Allardyce. Yeah, these are all yes man. Yeah, I'd rather have Maresca staying where he's at than any of them guys. Than these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, guys. Miss Donk has pulled up in the driveway and. She's got dinner and it's 6:45 and I haven't eaten. I'm starving, so I'm gonna have to jump off here. But Ty, I hope you'll be around Sunday. I hope you guys are around Sunday. Let's do it again Sunday.
I'll try and jump on. So I'll try and jump on, but I'm gonna be at the match on Sunday, bro.
Oh, nice.
I'm off after. So.
If I were a rich man, I'd be at the match too, but I'm poor, so I'll be watching it on TV.
Oh no, bro! I'm not. It's no what you call. I've been a season ticket holder at Chelsea for years. I've been going since years. And member, I've got all the stuff from my dad and uncle. So I've been going for many years, mate. So I've seen the good times and the bad times for us, bro. Trust me.
Well, listen, it was great Great to meet you. Great to talk to you.
Great talking to you as well, bruv.
Ty, hopefully, Ty, you'll be on Sunday, and hopefully DJ will be celebrating a victory and maybe unable to join or go to work on Monday. I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay.
Take care, bro. Take care of yourself. Nice chatting to you as well, mate.
It's a pleasure having you on.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right.
Yeah. All right. So DJ.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly get your thoughts because I think we can round up almost 2 hours now. Just quickly, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
You see what? I have a opinion with Poggy. Poggy says Maresca is one-dimensional, very stubborn, and does not embrace change and mission. Does not tick any box for me. What do you think?
Well, say that again, bro. Say that again.
So Poggy says Maresca is one-dimensional, very stubborn, and does not embrace change and innovation. Does not tick any box for me.
Who said that?
Poggy,
Poggy. Listen. Who said that about Maresca?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. I think we all know. I think most of us that are sitting on this, sitting in your panels, most of us that are on this stream with you right now in the comments, me and you know this as well. Apart from some people I know that would disagree with us. Right? Okay. All right. But I know a lot. I never wanted Maresca from the beginning. All right. When I saw links, I think in the reason why I mentioned Xavi Hernandez's name in the beginning, he was one of the managers that was actually linked to take over the Chelsea job after Poch was gone. There was talks with him. Sergio Conceição was mentioned as well as two, and then obviously Maresca was the other choice. Yeah, and in the end, we ended up getting probably the bad one out of the bunch. Yeah, and and look. They went by, because of this project they're doing, they went by the project that he wanted, a guy who's going to motivate the younger players, do what he did and be a yes man as he is at this moment in time. So they went with him. And I think, but if you ask, I'd say 90% of the fan base, none of them wanted Maresca. I know I could speak from the fans that I talked to, from the people I talked to sitting in the Matthew Harding upper. When I talked to the fan, I know about a load of them that didn't want Maresca at the football club. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, but it's the hand we were dealt with, and the ones that do support it, well, they're now seeing the situation. But listen, he done well. I've got to give him credit where credit is due. He started off the season very well, and then we all knew this. The worrying thing was always going to be this second half conundrum that he goes through every time, and we've seen that happen. He had it with Leicester, now he's brought it to Chelsea, and Chelsea's a different ballgame at Leicester because you come to a club that is known for winning, and you can't afford to let your guard down at any point. Yeah, and yes, but unfortunately, you got the ownership that are not like the old ownership that don't really care much about winning as much on the pitches as everyone thinks they do. Maybe they do want to win, but I think at this moment in time they think about more the money that's coming in, okay, and what they've invested in, rather than we want to win. And that for me is my issue. And I've said that all along, and I've been called out for it for no reason by people, but I'm sticking to my guns. I don't care what people tell me. I've got my own views and opinions. You either like it or you don't like it. I don't care. Simple. I've got my views and opinions on this ownership. Okay, I've got no hate towards them. I want to see them. If they want to make an impression on me, they've got to do the right thing and make us become what we were before Roman left. I'm not saying get us in debt, because they've already put us in debt. Let's be real here, right? They've already got us in debt. Yeah. So, it doesn't really matter. It's not really coming away from the old ownership, is it, really, if you think about it? Because we're in debt anyway. But the difference is Roman cleared the debt of 1.5 billion before he left the football club, or before the club was unfairly taken away from him. His baby was taken away from him. So, yeah, I just want people to think about that one. But anyway, this is not about the owners, bro. This is about the manager. And as I said, they hired him. So I guess it does come on to them. And I'd rather him stay. As I said, there's no point sacking him, because, as I said, while these two stooges, I call them the Chuckle Brothers, while the two Chuckle Brothers are still in charge as directors of the football club, yeah? Okay, yeah, me to you, you to me to you. What they used to always say in the old Chuckle Vision program back in the day. Yeah, that's exactly what it is with these guys. And while they're still there, the old Chuckle brothers, it's going to be the same thing with these directors. So it's what it is, bro. It's what it is at the end of the day, mate. I'd rather Maresca stay than them go and bring another yes man in. And Ty is cut. Brilliant. Ty, you there? I don't know where Ty has gone, people. Comments down below. How did you guys think the match went tonight? Were you impressed with our win? Do you think we should have won the game by more goals? Were you guys gutted that we conceded as we did? And by the way, the guy that scored against us, he's only 18 years old. The kid that scored against us tonight. So good on him. It made the kids' night. Obviously scoring against a club like Chelsea as your debut goal, scoring your first ever goal for your club and scoring against Chelsea, a big fish in Europe. So the kid got a goal tonight. But how did you guys all feel about the victory, about the match tonight? Did you think Maresca got his team selection right? Do you think he should have done something more? Do you guys agree with Reece James playing in midfield? Yeah, it'd be good to get some more comments down below until Ty decides to come back. So it'd be good to see the comments down below of what you guys actually think. Ty's saying he's rejoining people, so hopefully he'll be back very soon. Yeah, again, people in the comments, other news that came out of Chelsea today. What do you guys feel yesterday of the big news that hit us all of our new sponsors on the shirt, even though it's just for 7 games? How do you guys feel about the new sponsors of the shirt? Dermac, I understand they were called. You saw it today in tonight's game. We wore that shirt tonight. The players did. What do you guys make of the new sponsor, even though it's for 7 games, as I said? But even when the 7 games are up, it looks like these guys are going to be staying as our partner anyway, because obviously they're known for, obviously, guys, if you guys don't know anything about DMAC and who they are they are a property developer. They're based in Dubai. They got their name all around Dubai. Anyone that lives in Dubai will know who they are. And I do believe they've also got their name in this country as well, in the UK. They've got their name in one of the buildings in the UK as well, saying Dermax. So obviously the whole thing of them doing this whole of obviously sponsoring us and us and being our new partner will mean they're going to do properties with Chelsea logo names on it, whatever that's supposed to mean, which is obviously going to be money coming in, which will be great for the club. But what do you guys make of the new sponsors on our shirt? Are you guys happy with it? You glad it's done by? Are you happy it's we've finally got a shirt sponsor on our shirt? But as I said, it's only for 7 games. If you count the ladies or as I say, 10 games. If you count the ladies matches as well, I think they've got about 3 games left of their season to go, including the cup final they've got to be playing in. So I do believe that's going to be on there. So what your guys' views and opinions are? It would be great to know that what you guys think. And I don't know if Ty has actually come back yet. I don't think he has. But yeah, I'd like to see what the comments are down below on our new sponsors. So let's see what we have here. Okay. All right. So big up to the comments down below. I'm not sure where Ty left them off from, but I'm going to go with the comments left from, let's see, from who? From Puggy. And big up to you, Puggy, again. It says in your level, you said it's laughable what the panelists are saying. Oh yeah, this is one we read already. That this is Maresca's FC and not DJFC and Donk FC. That we will show ambition and fight. Yeah, I can understand why you're saying that, Puggy FC. We are the ones that want to see him do well. Our football club, but not Maresca, it seems, because of his football. But yeah, as a Chelsea fan, you want to see your club always competing for the trophies up there, always every season, regardless of the competition. We always want to be competing for the big titles, and we should be up there because of who we are and our history. Again, Puggy, no way. We are being delusional. 0% chance for Chelsea not to make top four. Yeah, I think we've addressed that one already. I don't think it's 0%, Puggy. I think for me, there's a chance that we do. We're fifth spot at the moment. Obviously, Forest have done us a favour tonight by losing to Brentford. Which say Brentford have done us a favour tonight by beating Forest. So we've got that opportunity to make that. All we've got to hope for is that Manchester City and Newcastle fail in their results. I do believe it's tomorrow. Manchester City are playing Wolves, and then you've got Newcastle against Brighton on Saturday. So we would hope that they both can draw or lose their games, and we've got to make sure that if they do draw them games, we've got to make sure we win our game on Sunday, which is a must-win against Liverpool. So yeah, as we've already alluded to, we've got to win that game to get where we need to get back to, which is to be in that top four and be discussed for Champions League football. Where it says, yeah, Puggy, stop hating. I don't know what that's about. Must be another discussion. I don't know, must be for something else. Puggy, I agree with Donk. Well said, sir. Facts. Hi, what's that noise, bro? Are you back on?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Sorry, I was just going through the thing while you came back, mate. I just asked the people, your subscribers below to ask them what they think of the sponsors on the shirt and how they feel about it. I've already seen Chelsea Auntie's already answered that. I think she said it's a short-term arrangement, better than nothing. Yeah. I don't know if you want to go from there, Ty. The comments, bro.
Yeah. So I lost connection. So I'm using a different account here and on the same laptop. So I can't bring up the comments. So the last comment that I have up here is I think we should not play in midfield. I was listening to what you were saying because it was just a laptop. I didn't lose my internet was perfectly fine because I was using the phone to listen to what you were doing.
Yeah.
But my laptop froze up and I had to restart it. So I heard when you asked them about what they thought about the match and all of that. So I think Chelsea Auntie responded by saying, I think Reece should not play in midfield. I can't bring up anything else, but Puggy made an interesting analogy here, and he's gone to wrestling, it appears, because I realized the names. He says an analogy. I'm trying to see if I can get to rejoin so that I can show that comment because I want you to be able to see the context, and for people who are watching the stream, as in watching it, they can see what he brought up. So let me quickly do that.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. The laptop is here now. So, all right. So this is what he says: an analogy. Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique are like Chelsea Green, silent for daring to ask questions, while Maresca is like Tiffany, rewarded with the job and praised simply for being agreeable.
Basically, what he's saying is he's a yes man, and the other two are not yes man. That's basically it, summed up in a nutshell. 100%, bro. Because let me tell you, I don't know if you guys know about the situation with Luis Enrique and Nagelsmann, right? And those who don't know about it, I'll give you guys a quick recap on what happened with these two. Now, basically, when this ownership obviously came in, obviously they sacked Thomas Tuchel. At that point, they were talking about new managers then, and I understand when obviously they went with Graham Potter, which was everyone knew no one wanted him. He came on a 5-year contract. When they sacked him, this is when the Enrique and the Nagelsmann talk started coming in because Luis Enrique had taken a sabbatical because I don't know if you know he lost his daughter through an illness last year. Luis Enrique, he lost his daughter.
Oh, no, that's sad.
That's why he took a sabbatical out and never managed for a while. He was more obviously looking after family situations, obviously trying to keep his family together. Obviously, he was heartbroken. It's his daughter. Of course, he would be. Okay, you're losing your daughter. I mean, at such a young age as well, she was, by the way. I do believe she was about 5 or 6, maybe something like that. 7, I can't remember, something like that. And she died of some illness.
9.
9, was it 9? And he took a sabbatical out because of that reason and took time out of the game. Obviously, when we all knew he was returning back to the fold, the first thing he actually came out and said was he was looking at the Chelsea situation and he actually wanted to come and manage at Chelsea. And he actually came out and went on an interview and said, and I think the question was asked him saying, with what was going on at Chelsea, if the new ownership were to come and approach you for an interview, would you go for that interview? And he more or less came out and said, yes, I would, because I like the project at Chelsea. I like Chelsea, who they are, the history of the football club and what they've achieved. I can go down there and go. If they're to ask me, I would say no to an interview. So he went for the interview. He took his full dossier to the owners. Now, my understanding is Todd Bowley liked his dossier. They thought they thought maybe he could be the guy to come in. But the minute Egbali got involved in discussions, along with the two stooges, the two Chuckle brothers got involved, they more or less said that no, they more or less said no, because they laid down their vision of what they wanted, and he more or less turned around and said to them, he basically turned around and said to them, this is not a club for winning trophies. This is a club for more or less business. It's not, and he walked out the meeting, and that's the reason why he didn't get the job. Nagelsmann, more or less, Nagelsmann didn't even get interviewed. He just basically went on his own comments and said that this is a project for business, not for football, and he didn't want to know about it. So Nagelsmann wasn't even in the frame for an interview. He didn't even get interviewed. I don't think they even approached him. Yeah, but he actually came out and already said it already where he stood with it anyway. So he didn't come. And I think the way he saw Thomas Tuchel was treated, obviously being a close mate of his, and being a close mate of his, obviously being his own countryman, he obviously didn't like the way Thomas Tuchel was treated, which is understandable again. So he basically said no to the job. And then if you guys can remember last season, Ty, going back to when obviously Frank Lampard had come in after we all know Maresca went out. And then they had that other guy, I think, not Maresca, sorry. They had, what's his name? Graham Potter's number 2. I forgot what his name was. He took charge of one game. In fact, he actually reminded me of he reminded me of Maresca only. He looked like Maresca as well. Yeah. He took over for one game.
I thought he drew. No, that was Liverpool.
No, who's the one that looked? No, I thought he looked exactly like him. I think we hired him again for the full-time job. All right, but anyway, he came in. Obviously, he didn't do well. He was only for the one game, whatever. And then obviously we got Maresca. We obviously then brought in Poch. But if you remember when Poch was there, bro, do you remember another guy who was coming in because there was issues going on behind the scenes with the fans not liking how Poch was playing and what he was doing? And do you remember seeing Hansi Flick attending some games at Chelsea? He was always coming to the stands, sitting in the stands.
People were singing because he was coaching for Germany.
Then Hansi Flick turned us down after the conversation. Yep, spot on, Puggy. That's exactly the answer, because obviously by that time, Poch had got the job, but Hansi Flick turned it down, and they were showing him coming to the games, thinking, is he going to be the next Chelsea manager? Because things are not going on right behind the scenes with Poch. And in the end, nothing happened with that, and Hansi Flick was just ended up getting the Barcelona job, and we all know what he's done now. So we've more or less, we could have had, all right, we had Thomas Tuchel as one winner, right? We could have had 3 more winners as managers to manage our football club, and they turned them away. Enrique, Nagelsmann didn't want it, and Hansi Flick. 3 top managers there, bro, that we could have had, and things have been, I guarantee you this right now, things have been better at this football club right now. Again, Ty, have you gone again, bro? You lost connection.
I'm here, but my laptop froze again. Go on.
Oh, yeah, I said we could have had 3 top managers, bro. 3 top managers. Flick, Enrique, and Nagelsmann. And they're all 3, and 2 of them wanted the Chelsea job. That was the thing. Flick and Enrique. And they turned them away after that. They said, forget that. This is a project not for football.
Yeah. Right. So I think this was in response to the Damak question when he asked about Damak, the short-term front of shirt sponsor. Chelsea auntie said short-term arrangement better than nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of too late though, to be honest. But it looks good. I saw it tonight, and I think it looks beautiful with the away kit. I don't The away
Yeah.
kit starts to look good to me. It didn't look good to me in the beginning,
Yeah.
but it does now, and with it on it. And as you rightfully said as well, I'll go back to what you were saying about the Hansi Flick aspect and Nagelsmann. But just quickly, just so we can mention this, because Chelsea auntie would have said this, I wouldn't address it. Yeah, in terms of the long term, was it project? Was it some development for residents, Chelsea residents,
Yeah.
and it's going to be called Chelsea. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but basically, bro, what they are is they're a massive, massive property development company that are based in Dubai. Now they're the second highest in the country, because the first one is a different one, but the first one, which is again that are in that business of property development, the first one are higher than them, and that's only because they're owned by the royal family in Dubai. The first one. The second one is the one we've got now, Damac. And I went and done a check on this guy's wealth. Do you know how much this guy's worth, bro? He's worth over 15 billion. This guy's worth. The guy in Dubai that's got property development.
Wow.
And I was thinking, these wild thoughts went in my head last night, that if he could only go to these idiots and say, I'll buy the club off you, because we're going to be using these guys. I'll be honest with you, right? These guys are in it for the long run, for the stadium, and they're also for obviously developing properties. They're going to be, as I said earlier on, they're going to be our partners for a long time in terms of development of property. And I think this is why they've been brought in, as you've just said, for the stadium rebuild. And if we don't get that stadium rebuild at Stamford Bridge, we're obviously going to try and rebuild in Earls Court. But I don't know if you saw, the Mayor of London, Mr. Khan, has come out and said, and I don't know why, there are four bigger clubs there are 4 clubs in England that are in London that are bigger than Chelsea in terms of crowd capacity wise, which is spot on right in terms of that. Yeah, and Chelsea need to get in there with the times, basically. Move in there with the times. So there's this talk coming up now that if we are going to redevelop, say we don't redevelop Stamford Bridge, because I'll be interested to see what the pitch owners are going to do, because they're not going to obviously give that up, because they're not going to sell the pitch to them. And obviously, if Chelsea want to develop on it, the most we can probably bring into Stamford Bridge is probably, I'd say, 60,000 maximum, maybe even a bit less than that, if they're gonna build from down upwards. But I think there are as Bobby and me said in your last stream, there's a lot of complications in getting that done. So that is why there's a possibility that Stamford Bridge may not be able to be developed, even though I want us to stay at Stamford Bridge because that is our home and spiritual ground. I'd rather stay there. However, we've got to go at the times, as people are saying, and if we do get this Earls Court move can happen, these guys that have been brought in to do property development are going to be the ones that develop the property, and don't be surprised if they're going to be the ones that give us the new naming rights of our stadium as well. So that we're no longer going to be known as Stamford Bridge anymore. Obviously, we moved to Earls Court. It's probably going to be known as, I don't know, the Durmac Stadium. Can you imagine that? The Durmac Stadium. Or Durmac Bridge. Or something like that. I don't know. Whatever we're going to be called.
We could be called Chelsea. It could be Chelsea.
It could be. But it's the naming rights.
The developing. The naming rights problem. I would probably say what Bobby said then. Bobby said this, and what he said, I agree with him completely. Move on. He was very aggressive when he said, "Move on." It's similar to what the mayor said. I mean, as much as it's hard to hear what to choose, move on. I get it. If you want to see the club benefiting, if you don't want to see it be a case of a 40 plus, what's the correct terminology? Seating. 40,000 plus seating.
Yeah.
And all that. A lot of clubs have developed. They have progressed. You have like Tottenham Hotspur, although their stadium looks beautiful, although it looks like a toilet seat to me. From the outside, it looks like a toilet seat. I'm not bantering. I'm just saying it's a beautiful stadium. But you see what they have, in terms. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is, and they host concert, and that is what I think. We're gonna start renting out the stadium for concerts and all of that and events. You can see that's what they do at LA Dodgers and all of that. So it's going to happen. But there's something about they're developing something in Saudi Arabia. I don't know I don't know what it is. Some Chelsea. It was a report that said as well that some
Yes.
Chelsea
Base,
Chelsea buildings or something like that. I don't remember what it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Basically, the staging. If you, I don't know if you had a chance to look at Eunice's latest video he did. I think yesterday.
Yeah, I watched
when
it.
Eunice
I think
talks
that's where I
football.
heard it, but I don't remember. I don't know what he
And
said. Yeah, watched it.
basically, what it is, he did the outline of how all the how all the houses are going to look like. So what's going to happen is it's going
Yeah.
to be in an area of development where all these houses are, and they're going to be named like Chelsea Chelsea something or another. It's going to be called. So all the buildings are going to be named after Chelsea there, and that's only so we can get what's the word I'm looking for? We can get ties in Dubai.
Revenue?
But how I'm looking at it,
Ties,
how I'm
okay.
looking at
Okay.
it, how I'm looking at it is we're already worldwide. Chelsea's a massive brand worldwide anyway for what we've achieved. So we probably are well known in Dubai. Yeah. But obviously we're not close to any of the big wigs there, the big oil barons there, the big people there. So they want to put us in that mix. And I think what that also might lead to is it might lead to one massive oil baron there saying, you know what, now that Chelsea is known here, I'm going to go and try and buy the club. Maybe that's something they're trying to do. I don't know. That could be another thing. And but don't be surprised if Todd Bowley's behind it all, because he's trying to get, apparently there's civil war behind the scenes, as they tell us, between the two owners. I personally think that's just all PR crap. But even if it's not, and there is clearly civil war going on behind the scenes, then don't be surprised if Todd Bowley needs to get more revenue or money to help him. He's probably gone and done this thing in Dubai, so maybe they'll come in and buy the share of Ekdeb Bali and buy him out. I don't know, but then my understanding is it was actually Ekdeb Bali.
I don't think that would be the case though.
No,
that can't,
I'll tell you why.
Because the thing is because the thing is with Clear Lake, they are that they have more shares. They have a higher percentage of shares. So if anything, what they're gonna buy, I don't and Clear Lake, I don't know. I'm not a business person. I'm not economically. I'm not knowledgeable in economics like that. But in terms of shares, Clear Lake would make no sense. Clear Lake sold their multiple. Their what you call it?
You're right.
The word is slipping me now. They're not
What's that?
maximum. The word I'm looking for is
asset. Asset?
Not asset. I'm just gonna use this exact. The word has completely slipped me. Higher percentage of shares or in terms of the consortium.
Yeah. No. And I'll tell you what, Ty. I agree, and the reason why I agree is because it actually wasn't Todd Bowley who. These guys that done this development were actually brought to Stamford Bridge last season. And that was actually done by Mr. Ekdeb Bali himself. So it was Barley's idea to bring these guys in. That's why it's not going to happen in that kind of that way. Yeah. If anything, he can kick Todd Bowley out if need be, if he gets that high backing and support.
And that's what the PR that you said seeing.
Yeah, and if he does that, mate, then I'm telling you now, if he carries on with this, but my understanding is, I mean, from what I'm hearing, right, coming out of the last couple of weeks from Chelsea, right, is apparently Barley he wants to change the project. He doesn't want to. He still will buy young, but he wants to start adding experience. But apparently, the sporting directors are saying no. Now it makes you wonder how much power do these idiots have at the football club? I mean, if they're saying to Barley, no, stick to the project, then what are we actually doing here? Who's actually running Chelsea Football Club? Is it these two stooges, directors? That's why they don't want to get out of the football club, because they've got such high, of what goes on at that football club, of what gets said and what gets done. That's why. Why do you think they got rid of what's his name, bro? The other sporting director that we had. Why do you think they got him out? They got him out. Yeah, because they got too much. He left. He goes, I can't. This is not a project. Yeah, you guys are only in it for the money, and that's it. This is a money thing for them, and you know, Chelsea. This is why I keep saying it all the time, mate. Why these two stooges are still at this football club, bro? Nothing's going to change, mate. And this is why I said it. You know, I don't want Maresca to be sacked because of that reason. Because for me, if you're going to sack Maresca, then these two idiots need to go with him. It's as simple as that. You don't keep one and get rid of the unless. And this is why I keep hoping and keep saying, if someone like Luis Campos was to come in there and take that job and take the helm of that complete role and says, you know what, I'm happy to stay with Maresca because of what he's achieved or whatever he's done. Let's go with him for another season. Yeah. And then we'll see how it goes after that. I'll be happy with that. If Campos is saying, yeah, that's fine, he stays. But if Campos comes in and says, nah, I don't think he's the right guy, we need to go and get a winner to this football club, then you get rid of him. You get rid of him and let him bring his own guy in. Yeah, that's how it should be. Right? But unfortunately, until these idiots leave, okay, we're going to be sitting here clutching at straws saying, be saying nothing for Maresca to be sacked when I'd rather him stay because, like I said, there's no point him going anywhere until these directors go, mate. Simple as that. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Let's put it that way.
Right. I just somebody just sent me a voice note. I don't want to expose who it is, but he just gave me some information which is very much true, and I just want to clarify something about the whole ownership structure because this is the whole thing with the consortium thing that confuses the living hell out of me. Todd Bowley is the one that had the genuine interest into buying the club, 100%.
Yeah.
He's had the interest for years. I do remember the reports a few years ago when he approached Roman and he said, no, I'm not going to sell. And the irony is that, you know, Todd Bowley actually was one of the favorites or was deemed as the ideal option because of the fact that, okay, it's not because of this and because of the money. It's a case where he had a long-term interest in the past. But what I'm seeing is that, you know, Todd Bowley is the one that has that obviously wanted to acquire the club or to save the club, as people have said, from liquidation or being. Obviously, we know what happened with the sanctions, so that is true. But the way that it has worked is that he had to develop this consortium because he himself could not get up to the asking price of the club that was obviously stated or quoted. So because of that, clearly Capital ended up getting more shares. So you have what's his name? You have Feliciano or something like that, and Igbali. Both of those persons, they have more stakes or they have more shares in it. And then you obviously have people like what's his name? You have Wiz. Is he Swedish? That very old guy.
Yeah.
That sounds offensive.
Yeah,
you have him as well.
He should be retired.
And then there's somebody else. Yeah, there's somebody else as well.
Viciliano, bro. Viciliano, I think his name is.
Yeah, that's clearly. So therefore you see, so you have Ed Barley and you have Feliciano. Therefore that's why it was called the Bowley Clear League because they're the two highest shareholders in the consortium. But the thing is, Clear League has more, and because of the fact that you have Feliciano and then you have Igbali, both of those persons, when you add their shares together, you get more because it's Clear League, because both of them work for Clear League. So yeah, with that being said, that's what I meant. So yeah, Todd Bowley is the one that had the interest, yes, but in terms of the shares, which to me makes no sense, Clear League has more. So that is why the whole Civil War thing, they're trying to buy out Todd Bowley according to those reports. Not saying it's the truth, but according to those reports, that's why, because Todd Bowley has less. So if they get that one, obviously Wiz one would be a minimal, like 9% or something like that. They would be the only high stake or the high shareholders of the consortium ownership. So that's what I meant. But quickly, I just want to add this as well. If what you just said about the sporting directors and they're saying no, buy young, it makes me wonder if because they realize that they're not competent. Well, I don't want to use the word competent, but because they're not as educated. That sounds horrible, but I'm gonna say it still. They're not as educated about how football works because they're business people. They got people who are quote unquote sports people with the directors So because of that, they're saying, okay, we'll give you the freedom to do these things because you understand the sport. We're trying to still get an understanding of it. You are a director, so you know what is best. And then with common knowledge and all of that, Todd Bowley has come on because he's been the more vocal of the two of Egbali and Bowley. He's been the one that's been vocal. So for years he's been saying it. So that is why people who are having outrage. I have not had an outrage because I remember, and I even made a video about it recently, using the clips of what he spoke about when he first acquired the club. The fact is, he said that we want to build this multi-club model where we get different clubs. So we already have one with Strasbourg. They want one in Portugal, they want one in Spain, and they want it around. So that what they're saying is that when you buy these players, you can send them there, you can develop those clubs, you can get them game time, because what tends to happen is that you buy these players, you send them out on loan, but there's no certainty that they get game time, which is true. So I have to give him flowers for that. He's actually speaking the truth. A lot of the times, because we look what happened with Leslie Ugochukwu. Leslie was not getting game time at Southampton until the new manager came in. So in terms of that, you can see why they want to do it. So in terms of the young, you're buying young and hoping for the best. That is the thing, because they're business people, and in business world, if you invest in stocks, and they're minimal, or the risk is so low, your belief is that okay, in a few years time, you'll be able to benefit from it because it was low stocks, but in the end it will be high stocks for you, or high potential. So that is, I just use a whole bunch of business terminology right there, but essentially that's the mindset. But the problem with that is that unlike stocks, I can't say unlike with players, or with commodities like that. Commodities are the wrong word to use. With assets like that, what tends to be the case is that you're hoping for the best. But we've seen it historically, we've seen it consistently with a lot of players. They tend to do well in the beginning, and then they may get an injury that derails their entire career. I'm not throwing you under the bus, DJ, but we know about one young player that you said you'll be better than one other player. Not going to expose you. I have the clip still. Yeah,
I know.
So we see what happened. A lot of players have great look at what's that guy's name again? Not Musiala. What's his name? Oh crap! I forgot his name.
Musiala?
Not Musiala. The Belgian. He was a promising talent. No, he's Belgium.
No. I know you're talking about. Yeah. I know the winger. The winger. He played on the wing. What's his name? I know.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
It'll come to me in a minute, bro. I'll tell you in a minute. It'll come to me. I'll tell you who it is. Don't worry. Go on. You carry on.
Yeah, but essentially we see that. Even Loftus-Cheek, for example. Loftus-Cheek was one of the most promising young players that we had. Antonio Conte gave him his debut. He came. Maurizio Sarri gave him more game time and all that. So we saw what tended to happen. Or was it Jose? Was it Conte or Jose that? What Loftus-Cheek get his no?
Yeah,
it was. What's it?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I'll tell you who the name is. It's Charlie Musunda.
Yes, Musunda. I know it was an M name.
Yeah,
it was an M name. I know it was Musunda.
Yeah, Musunda. Yeah.
So we see that. So that's a risk. So you're buying a bunch of these young players, and I said this numerous times. A lot of these young players that we've signed, some of them are not even going to touch the grass for Chelsea. Some of them aren't going to. Even you see players like what's his name? You have Kendry Pies. I'm worried about Kendry. Kendry could come in next season. Or no, he's gonna go on loan. They said some of those players may not even come in or get a game or get game time. We see Aaron Elson-Mino. He came back from loan. He hasn't even played one match. He hasn't even come off the bench or even be in the squad because of injury. We have Omari Kiliman who got a game once and then he hasn't played otherwise. So a lot of these players are not gonna make it. We're almost at 150 minutes.
I was just gonna say one thing. I'm gonna the reason I put my camera on, Ty, is because I'm gonna get this out of the way once and for all, right? Okay, I made a confession to Ty on one of his streams, and he
oh no, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, I made a confession, everyone in the stream, right? Everyone in the comment section, you can come at me, laugh at me, what you guys want to do, right? Yeah, I don't care because it's something I made a confession to Ty when I came up to Ty and I said to Ty, basically in one of his streams, that I think Armando Broja is going to be better than Erling Haaland in some years to come, and how
Oh
I have been
God, he did
proved
it.
wrong. Yeah, I hold my hands up, everyone that is listening to this. I made a mistake. I had so much high hopes for this kid because of seeing him coming through our youth ranks, scoring goals for us. I thought he's going to be the next big thing at Chelsea, and we're going to have our own Erling Haaland. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not worked that way.
Oh,
He's let me down completely as Armando Broja. And look, listen, injuries, unfortunately, are a bitch. Unfortunately, for especially if you're football players. Yeah, once you get that injury and it's injuries for life for you, man, a play can never be the same. And I think we've seen that with Armando
yeah.
Broja. We've seen that with Kennedy. We've seen that with players over the years that they are not the same players when they get that
Hudson
bad
Odoi.
injury. Callum Hudson-Odoi, another one who I had high hopes for, and actually didn't let me down. To be fair, he didn't let me down because I saw the. I watched this kid from when he was through the youth ranks, following up till now, and I said this kid is going to be something special at Chelsea, and he proved that to be that. But injuries, unfortunately, let this kid down, and unfortunately, it turned out to be that way. Even though he did start off well, but yeah, that is my confession, and I've said it now.
I can't
I thought
believe
Amanda
it, man.
Broja was going to be
Oh,
better than Erling Haaland, and I was wrong to say that. Yeah, so I hold my
oh
hands up,
gosh, man.
and I say I know when I'm wrong, and I admit when I'm wrong. You see, there's a difference. People say, "Oh, you never admit
Yeah,
when you're wrong, DJ." I
unlike
always admit when
people.
I'm wrong. So here we go. So anyone that knows me, in my X spot in my Twitter page, no doubt I'm probably going to get messages regarding it. I'm probably going to get some heat for it, but hey, it's what it is. Unfortunately, you put yourself in that kind of situation, you got to take the heat. So anyone that wants to come at me with heat, do
Mm,
so. Laugh at me because I basically said that, and I was an idiot today. And all the Manchester City fans are probably just, if any are watching, is probably even laughing at me as well, mate. So yeah, uh, at least I've got it off my plate now, so I'm happy about that.
I can't listen. I'm gonna just quickly do this. Um. Oh, wrong person. Wrong person. Wrong person. I'm just gonna do this. Let me move the comment so you guys can see me. You have it on record. I did not expose DJ. I you could hear you saw the proof. I said I was not going to specify which player that he said, and he exposed himself. I have the clip, man. It's a pity. It's a pity I cannot find the clip because I record, and I'm not gonna do that. We've been brothers for years. So
Excellent.
I'm not gonna do that to
Yeah,
DJ.
bruv. No. But listen, bruv.
I'm
Listen.
not gonna
It's
do
what
that
it
to
is,
DJ.
man. I said I listen. I was having high hopes for a player that I thought was going to, was going to be. Do you know what I mean, bro? I thought this player was going to be something special at Chelsea. Let's be real. When he first came on the scene, he was banging in goals left, right, and centre, right? But as I
Oh,
said,
100%. You reminded me.
injury record is let him down, bro.
You reminded me of
His
Diego
injury
Costa.
got him.
You
Yeah,
reminded me of Diego Costa. So definitely, I agree with you.
and yeah, and fortunately, it's not worked out that way. And look, like I said, I do get things wrong in life. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm right because I'm a
We all
music,
do.
even in my music, and I've been DJing since the age of 17. Sometimes I get certain things wrong when I'm trying to mix a tune. But hey, but a lot of late I haven't done that. Let's be real. But when I started out, you make mistakes. But I've learned from the mistakes, and I've obviously become a professional at it now. So in that kind of like way, I very rarely
Oh
make
no,
them
I
kind of
found it.
mistakes now. Oh, bro, just expose it, bro.
Found it.
Come on, you want to do it? Do it. Do it. Get
Oh
it out of
my
the way.
god,
I've already admitted it
I
on here now,
found
so you
it.
might as well just do it. Just do it, bro. Get my misery out, mate. Just do it.
Yeah, go,
Honestly,
go.
I've
Continue,
I've come out and said
continue
it.
talking. I'm inserting it. I'm inserting it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So.
It's downloaded. Go on.
Oh, bruv, I knew, yeah, just, yeah, you know what? At least then at least I won't have it cut inside of me anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? At least I know it's out there, and everyone knows what DJ said, yeah. So, and everyone knows that do know me, know how long I've been a fan of this football club for, and I do most of my stuff. I can tell you right now, I get right, but some things I do get wrong, and on this mode and this whole thing with Manda Broja, I got it completely wrong. The kid let me down. But hey, I can't blame him because he got a bad injury and he was never the same player. Wayne Rooney, we saw that with Wayne Rooney, bruv. When he got that bad injury, do you remember? Wayne Rooney, he was never the same player after that, was he? So, it happens, man.
Yeah, I found the video, but it's saying that I can share it probably for the best. Oh no, I have an idea. I have an idea. Where is it? Where is it?
Maybe I put some mumbo jumbo in it, Bobby, so you can't, so it won't expose it.
Okay, here it is. All right, so let me do this. So, wait. No, you guys can't hear it. Where is it? Are you able? I wonder if the audio will play though.
You can try.
Let's see. All right, here it is. You can see how long ago it is. This was back when I was called Thai Talk CFC.
Now,
I hope you guys can hear
in the
it.
future, for me, a manager for Croatia is going to be better than Erling Haaland.
Oh, there it is, guys. There's a proof. Wow.
Exposed and
Can't
flipping
believe
what you call it, man. Shit, man. Honestly, exposed, man. But hey, what can I say and do, bruv? It's what it is, mate. It's what it is. It's what it is, mate. But hey, listen, we've got to, we've moved from that now. Obviously, things have got worse for our football club anyway, despite me making that comment back then. I think Roman was still our owner back then. So yeah, it's just things have just got even worse now. So obviously since he's got. Listen, what I will say one thing, guys, as well. Please, anyone, do not forget to buy your copy of Sanctions. Okay, if those who don't know what that book, those who do not know what that is, it is the latest autobiography that Mr. Abramovich himself discussed with a journalist. And on that, you'll see him talking about, from my understanding of it, is it's coming out. I do believe it's coming out this month. It's going to be. I think you can order your pre-copy on Amazon. I've already done mine. Mine's arriving on the 7th of June, and that's more or less going to expose everything about how the football club was taken away from him, how his 1.5 billion is still stuck in a bank account in the UK, and it hasn't been let go yet. And there'll be a lot on this new ownership as well that has come in on the book. So if you guys want to get great reading and find out more about these owners and what Roman has sold the football club to, I think you find Roman's going to expose quite a bit of stuff, especially after his sanctions were lifted, by the way, in the EU. Not in this country, but he was not but it's been lifted in the EU. So he still can't come back to the UK here. His money is still frozen, as everyone knows, in a bank account. And basically, this whole book that he's bringing out called Sanctions, it's called, is coming out
He's
next month. It's the great
I don't know what's going on, man. He's
brought out the book. Yeah, it's coming out, bro. I've already ordered mine.
Wow.
So don't be surprised now. These owners are going to start, sorry to say, bricking it now, because I think there's going to be a lot said about them and what's going on at the football club as well. What's been going on and how Chelsea, and basically it's more or less is how his football club was taken, as he calls it, his baby, was so unfairly taken away from him by the government, and how it was sold to these idiots that are in charge of it right now. And he's not happy at all, mate. He's not a happy man, mate. He's already gone and said to Joby, Mikel, what's going on? What's going wrong? What's gone wrong with my baby? You know what they're doing to his football club, because it was his baby, and what they're doing to it. And I really, really hope this gets some good exposure on these guys and see what these guys are really all about, because at the moment they're digging Roman in the shit so much at the moment. I don't know if you guys have heard of the latest crap. They're still bringing up this whole thing about the overseas payments that was made for Eden Hazard and obviously for who's the other one? There was another player that was exposed who went to they got a transfer ban out of it all, but the main one was about Eden Hazard. You mean
basically
yeah,
you're talking about what's his name?
Yeah, basically, I don't know if you heard.
Go on.
Willian's the other one, by the way. Yeah, the other what I'll say to you
Willian is one of them.
Eden Hazard situation, according to a big journalist. I do believe the guy who wrote it out was Martin Ziegler. Those who don't know who this guy is, he basically is a journalist, I do believe, for the Daily, I think it might be the Daily Telegraph. I'm not if I can remember, or something like that anyway. And he's basically come out and said that Manchester United had first preference on Eden Hazard and had a deal all but wrapped up for him, but were not willing to pay agent fees for his signature. And he was all but signed and sealed for him to go to Manchester United. But the reason why I can't match this and why this Ziegler bloke's coming out and saying this, because if you remember, and those who remember back in 2012 when we signed Eden Hazard, he basically went on when he was such a talent, as we all know, in Lille, and people were talking about the next big thing coming into French football. Everyone was talking about Eden Hazard and where his next move's going to be. Because let's be real, he had Real Madrid, he had all the big clubs in Spain looking at him, he had all the big clubs in England looking at him, and all the big clubs in Italy looking at him, in Germany as well. Okay, but he said whatever club, and I remember going, and this is why people need to go and check this out. He came out and said whatever club wins the Champions League final between Chelsea and Bayern Munich is the club he's going to join. And that was actually put out there, and Chelsea obviously won it. So where this whole news of Manchester United got a deal all but done for him is come out of nowhere, to be honest with you. And all it is these owners.
Let me look for the tweet. The tweet is still up. 12 years later, over 12 years, almost 13 years ago, it's still up there. So I'm gonna look for it right now. I'm bringing it up. I'll find it. I found it.
All it is, bro, is these owners are trying to expose again Roman Abramovich and his dealings, paying agent fees and all that crap.
It is,
but they know because
it is
this. Yeah. Exactly what he said on his Twitter page, and thank God you kept that. Yeah, and this is what I want to know from Martin Ziegler, where he got all this news from, and why is he spreading BS crap about Roman Abramovich again? And that's only because these owners have exposed it and said because of the overseas payments, and that is why they are trying to make his name worse. They're trying to rub his name, make his name mud. Because they know he's bringing out a book next month and he's going to expose a lot of crap, including these stupid journalists that have written so much crap about him. Okay, there'll be a lot of exposure on them guys as well. So be warned, guys, when that book comes out. I can't wait for that read to come out. I really can't. And hopefully that will open up the Chelsea eyes of a lot of the fan base that love these owners so much and think they're all a bunch of angels and God's gift to Chelsea Football Club since they bought the club off Roman. Yeah, I'd love them to go and see when that book does come out, what that book's going to say, because there's going to be a lot of exposure in there about these guys and as I said, how the government took the football club away from Roman, how he was sanctioned, accused him of being a right-hand man of Putin when it turned out that he wasn't guilty of that, as the Euro laws made of that, the EU sanctions said that. So there's going to be a lot coming out, bro. So everyone, just watch out for that read. It's coming out this month. As I said, you can pre-order yours now, and it will arrive on the 7th of mine's arriving on the 7th of June. So yeah, I can't wait for that read, mate. And when you do go and look at, if you're going to go on Amazon, there'll be no front cover of it because there's no front cover picture of it yet, but you can actually see it there called Sanctions. And if you read the actual thing on there, it tells you who the guy is who wrote it. In fact, let me see if I can get it for you guys and show you what it's going to look like.
Nick Purewell. Nick
Pure is the guy. That's the guy, mate. That is the guy.
Yeah, sanctioned Roman Abramovich. Yeah, I looked it up and I saw it. It's a pity I can't get it, man, because it's not available. This is the con of living in a third world country.
Sanction. Hold on, bro. I'll show you. Let me show you what it's going to look like when people go to order. Then they say, "Oh, we have no book cover of it, right?" Okay. Basically, when you go onto Amazon, here's a camera. I want to show you guys right now. When you go onto Amazon, look for that image. Look for that image there. It's exactly that one there. If you guys can see that.
That's the lighting is kind of too much.
Oh, sorry.
So it's not really sure. You can see it says April 2022.
Yeah, but it's not April 2022. Trust me. It's purchased April 25. It's 2025, bro. But that's what the picture looks. There's no picture. So I'm saying there's no hard copy picture, but it will be coming out on there. And as I said, there's going to be a lot said regarding the whole situation at Chelsea Football Club and what happened to him. And a lot of it's going to be based on obviously a lot of it's to do with him and his money being frozen, you know, the sanctions, how he felt about that, and how he felt when the club was taken away from him. Obviously, the sale went to these owners. What's been going on? What he actually asked them to do when he left. The promises that were put down, and one of them was to say, make sure the club does not go in debt. I do believe, and I do believe the club is currently in debt anyway. I think people have said something about the debt already, saying it's already there. It's debt by 1.2 billion in debt at the moment. We are. So
you
but
know
apparently
that,
we're good. Apparently it's good though. Huh? Sorry, bro, what was that?
Yeah, go on. I just want finish what you're saying. I want to read what Poggy says after that. Go on.
No, go on, bro. I'm finished. Go on.
You finish your sentence. Finish your sentence first.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, basically, I think Bobby said on your stream last time we streamed together that this debt was from previous debt.
Mhm.
Some of it maybe is, but most of it is from the new ownership, the debt that's coming now. And also,
I find
do
it hard to believe
what's that?
That it's from the old ownership, considering the fact that the debt was
Paid off.
Where would the debt come from? Yeah, so where would the debt come from? Now, I don't understand that. How would the we spent 1.2 billion and we've not gotten any? Even no, we spent over 1.2 billion.
1.5
So how
billion,
could it be
1.6 billion
how
now.
could it be?
Exactly,
So how would the debt be from the old ownership? So that's kind of weird for me. I'm not saying Bobby's wrong.
Yeah.
Probably is right, but that sounds weird to me.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, this is why I was a bit surprised when Bobby said it the other day. And look, 9 out of 10 times over there. Listen, Bobby's our brother. Yeah, big up to him. I always agree with. I always agree with everything he said. Most of the stuff I agree with. Me and him we agree on most of the stuff, and in fact, most stuff we agree on. But this thing with the debt, I'm slightly a little bit not sure if it's all but true. I do believe maybe some of it might be left from the old ownership, but then I look at it and think, what can it be? Now, if we're talking about this overseas payments and all this BS crap of the Willian and the Hazard signings and all this nonsense, and that's part of the debt, then maybe he has some legs to stand on in that way. Yeah. But again, I don't until I don't believe that would be all of it. All of it is the most of it has come from these guys spending the money that have gone and spent and got nothing back for it. And that is why these investors at the football club are not happy with Todd Bowley and Edgar Bally, and that is why he has to answer to his investors come this summer. And this is why, and if they don't, this is why there's a lot of issues. This is why the talks have been coming about the sporting directors and Bali, because they don't want, basically these investors don't want these idiots running the what do you call it? It's the football side of it all anymore. And the two stooges we've got in there, they want them gone. But Barley's obviously doing his best to fight to keep them. But how long? I mean, how long can that be? Once they start taking their money out of an asset, you all know once you start taking your money out of a business, you know that's not good for the business itself, because it makes everyone else start thinking, why are they all of a sudden they're taking money out of there? Things start looking bad for them. And the last thing these guys want to have is their image is tarnished, being who they are. And by these investors taking out money from them, bro, that will tarnish their images, man.
Yeah. All right. So I want to quickly read what Poggy has here, because we're almost at 3 hour mark. I said 2 hours. We're gone an entire hour again. Didn't stop, and boys fine. But yeah, so Poggy says they won't get rid of Maresca for at least 3 years. He doesn't challenge the owners. He's here to stay, and a Conference League win would be spun into a triumph with the best media hype. Wow. Then he goes on to say, Tyrone, what are the chances? Oops, it's not coming up here. Tyrone, what are the chances I'll end up like DJ, confessing I was wrong about Maresca? I don't think you're wrong about Maresca, to be honest. I don't think I'm wrong about Maresca. Can he prove us wrong by finishing in top 5. Maybe probably that's what you meant, but you're not wrong about Maresca. DJ is wrong about Maresca. I'm not wrong about Maresca. You're not wrong about Maresca, and I'm confident about that. If I'm not confident about anything else, I'm confident about that because the proof is in the pudding. And I showed you guys live on the stream the comparison to show you where the second half syndrome or the bad spell syndrome comes from. It comes from the fact of being so obsessed with possession that your XG drops. Some people don't care about XG, but the XG gives you a deep understanding of how many shots on target you create per match and how much is expected from you to score from those shots on target. So whether or not you believe it or not, the proof is in the pudding, and that stat does not lie because it's actually taking into account the amount of shots that are on target, not just the shots, because people talk about the shots. And I had Wolfie on in the past. Quickly, just going to mention this because 10 minutes to 3 hours. But and Wolfie said, and I was shocked when he said that we had 76% of possession. Oh, I can't talk. Oh crap! You know, forget it. Possession.
Ball possession. Ball possession. Yeah.
Yeah, ball possession. Yeah, ball possession. And we had 30 shots, and none of those were led to goals, and we lost it to Ipswich. So not lost. We drew with Ipswich, and then we lost to somebody else. Who did we lose to? Was it a loss? I don't know what it was, but whatever match that was.
Fulham.
Yeah. Right. So you could see how obsessed with the possession he has hampered this team. We see players like Cole Palmer not able to deliver. And I'm not saying that Cole Palmer is dropping spells because of Maresca. No, because you can't blame the manager for a player second guessing himself like what we saw in this match, or deciding to take a shot and then it goes wide. That's not on the manager. But when you realize that you're stifling the way that he's playing, he has to be a playmaker. And people say that he's got an assist. A player that can create chances is always going to be able to create chances no matter where you play them if they have that capability locked in their locker. So I don't believe in he's still doing this. No, that's garbage because he was doing way better. And people say that in terms of his numbers, it's not as bad as what he had last season because he's already almost at 20 goals and he was. But the thing is that it's been massively lower now in terms of where he was because he was on the 20th mark already by this point. Earlier, about 2 matches ago, you probably say that at this point of the season, he was there. That was before he played Everton last season. He scored 4 goals and all of that. So we are aware of that. But the problem is Maresca is his worst enemy. I've said this so many times in the past few weeks. He's so obsessed with possession. We saw Willie Caballero leading the team on the touchline against Everton. And we saw what happened. He was not demanding them to be holding up the ball and possession and all of that. And he was shouting at them to say that release the ball. So you can see that it's not a case where the entire assistant or the coaching staff are obsessed with possession. So because we saw Maresca was in the stands with the fans and all of that, or behind the bench amongst the fans. So we know that.
He was in prison, bro.
So we saw. Yeah, so we saw that. So definitely, Puggy, you're not wrong. You're not going to be wrong about Maresca because Maresca is Maresca. But yeah, Ayodi is saying that wow, Ty, not nice, exposing DJ like that. But
was that bro? Sorry,
I'm saying that Ayodi. Okay, I'm trying to bring it up, but I've lost connection. Okay, because I'm trying to use my phone to do this. Anyways, it's not coming up. But I already said something about me exposing you like that. If you look in the chat, you probably see it.
Oh mate,
Listen,
listen,
that's not nice. Oh, there it is.
Bro,
It says, "Whoa, not nice." Exposing DJ like that. So that's that.
No. He didn't expose me. I exposed myself because I did make that bold statement. I did make that bold statement, yeah, and only because I believed so much into Emmanuel Broja, seeing this kid. Because as you guys don't know, I get a chance to go and watch. I also season ticket holder at Chelsea. I also get a chance to go and watch the youth play as well in their games. This is why I had high hopes for him. Obviously for Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. And I said to myself, you know what, we got some gems here, and unfortunately, Callum did start. To be fair, Callum did start off the season pretty well at Chelsea when he did get into that Chelsea team until he got that bad injury, and then he was not the same player. But he did do
Yeah.
well for me. He even got some goals for me as well. He scored for us as well a few times. But as for Brozier, he never ever had that chance because once he had that bad injury, that was it. He was more or less done, and that's why I look back on it now and say, had it could have been different because let me tell you this right now, both these kids, and I call them kids because that's when they were at the time, they were banging it in for the youth team and they were smashing goals in, week out, and that is why I said I had high hopes for both of them. But yeah, but no, big up to you big up to you though, mate. It wasn't Ty who exposed me, I exposed myself. I asked Ty to go and put that video out, to be fair, because I wanted to say that I wanted to tell everybody that I was wrong to say what I said, and I haven't said it. I put my hands up and say I was wrong. But hey, we all make mistakes.
Yeah. Poggy has returned. Poggy's the only person watching, it appears. It looks like we've lost Chelsea Auntie. I kept saying to Chelsea Auntie if she has any way of where I can contact her. But subscribe to her channel.
Yeah.
It's relatively new. She has 12 subscribers. It's a great channel. She hasn't made a lot of content recently, but she did something similar to how I started out. So She what she said is a lot of factual. She's in the UK, I think.
Puggy.
And
Okay, who's she?
She's on.
What is
Not,
she
not
on, bro? 'Cause I
Puggy,
tried
Chelsea
to
Auntie.
Chelsea Auntie. I tried to. There was another one you said as well. There was another one you said. Is it something? Was that the one? Who was the one who called himself? Oh, is it something hot? There was another one, and I went looking for it.
Owen
in there.
Hart.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Owen Hart. Not Owen Hart. Not Owen Hart. Owen
Oh.
Hart is a Owen Hart is a wrestling fan. His name is actually Owen, but he called himself Owen
Yeah,
Hart
I know
as a
wrestler. I know the
fan.
wrestler. I obviously know wrestling. Owen Hart, know him pretty well. Owen Hart. Yeah, I mean, listen,
Yeah.
Owen
His name
Hart,
is
mate, I
actually
know.
Owen, but he calls himself Owen Hart.
Yeah, Owen Hart. He's a massive WWE, WWF fan. Listen, I'll give Owen Hart a thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship, mate. Everyone remembers that fight. What a fight that was, mate. That's what I think they've done. Stone Cold's neck. I think he done Stone Cold's neck over at the time. Let me find that one. What's her name? Puggy, did you say?
Not
What's the
Poggy,
lady?
Chelsea Auntie. Poggy's
Chelsea RC.
Chelsea on it's on the screen. If you can look at it, you can see. If you click in the chat, you're supposed to see the link. I don't know if you're on your phone though or your laptop.
Is it called? Is it called?
If
Is
you
it called
are, you
Auntie
can-
Chelsea? Auntie
or,
Chelsea?
No, Chelsea Auntie.
Oh.
No, Chelsea Auntie. Let me put it in the private chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a relatively new channel. I think she started it in April or March. So she's doing a lot of videos, but she deserves more because I took the time to watch her videos and they're actually good. But it looks like she's left. I wanted to see if there's a way to contact her to see if she could join or something. But
It's
unfortunately,
written
she
like
looks
that.
like she's gone.
I got you. That's
Yeah.
why I couldn't get it because it was written up a different way. Chelsea.
Is that 15? No, that's good. She has 15 subscribers, so that's good. It's going up now. That's good.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get her. Oh yeah. Sure. Is she the one? It says Chelsea Auntie. Here we are. Got her.
Yeah. Big up to
Subscribe.
you. Big up to you, Puggy. Thank you for the £2 donation. It'll go a long way. It says exceptional show. Big up DJ. So this donation is for you. It looks like DJ because he didn't say me. He said big up DJ, so it's okay.
Oh, big up to you, man. Thanks for the for the donation fee, sure. For you, bro. Oh, I've subscribed to her now. I'm subscribed to her channel now.
Yeah, that's good. So that should be 16 now. She should be on 16 subscribers now. Hopefully she decides to rewatch to this point, so she will see that I actually promoted the channel as well. Because it's a great channel. You can probably. I think she made 2 videos. She's done shorts. I think the 2 videos are on Tottenham. And the other one was the joy, the pain, and something else. I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be 3 hours now, so I'm gonna have to round up. Anything you want to quickly say? 30 seconds.
Nah, bro. Nothing. Just obviously a great win tonight. Everyone in the comments, please smash and subscribe to the channel as you always do. I've met a few new ones here tonight. I obviously don't know who Puggy is, but big up to you. Thanks for the donation for Ty on this stream as well here. Big up to you. I hope you can come and join. You should get him to come and join on the stream. I love to always hear other fans' take on things. Yeah. And
yeah, I love that. I love that.
and it'd be nice to get someone. And listen, anyone that wants to come and speak to me about old school Chelsea, or if you guys ever want to talk to me or speak to me in the comment section about Chelsea, I can tell you about the football. I've been a fan of this since the 80s. Okay, I've seen I've seen us get relegated, come back up. I've been part of Save the Bridge, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys want any kind of exposure or any kind of news on, or you want to know about more of a history of our football club, please don't hesitate not to ask Ty. And I'm sure Ty will be able to tell you, or number on. I'll be happy to talk more about Chelsea to you guys, because obviously it's a club that we all love dearly to our hearts. It's a club we want to see going back up there again. Win. I always say, win, lose or draw, blue co out, as far as I'm concerned. And I'll be sticking to that same punt until that happens. But unless they prove me wrong. At this moment in time, they're not. So, I can't see it happening, but okay, we can only believe, we can only hope. But again, Ty, thanks for having me on, bro. Pleasure always coming and chatting footy with you as always. And everyone in the comments, please smash and subscribe to the channel as always.
Yeah, my mission has failed. We've gone over the 3-hour mark now. But we move. Let me just quickly read what Poggy says here. It says, well, DJ and Poggy are here owning up and saying we were wrong. But the toxic positive crowd, they'd never admit it. Well, you're not gonna get me in trouble. I know you're dropping those words for you, trying to throw digs and shades at people, but I'm not gonna go down that slippery slope with you, sir. So I'm just gonna say big up to you. Thank you for joining. Energy Dunk, who joined the panel this first.
Yeah,
the panel, I should say, as a panelist. Bob, and he spoke a lot of facts. He gave us 2 hours of streaming, so I appreciate that. Bobby lost connection, and I probably said he was going to leave, and I didn't hear him. He was also on. Obviously, Poggy was here. We have Chelsea Auntie. We had GOC Garvon, Ayodi, who was attacking me because of doing something that DJ gave me permission to do, but we moved. Then there was Jesus is King, one of my favorite persons. I love that name. Jesus is King.
Yes.
And Poggy says Poggy's always here as well. Where is it? Okay, I can't find the other ones, but everybody who was here, big up to you guys. Tobago's also here. Beyond the Build podcast. Owen Hart, Roderick, everybody was here. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next stream and our video. I should be releasing a video on this guy. His name is Malik Tillman. Probably you've heard of him, DJ. He plays for you.
Oh
for
yes,
the US team.
I saw, bro. Yep.
Yeah, we're linked with him too. So that I'm probably gonna release that video tomorrow. It's probably or today your time and Poggy's time, and everybody else who's in the UK time.
I've got another play for you, bro. I've got another play for you, bro. Tonight you might want to do some homework on. I'll get you up in a minute. Hold on. Yeah, we're also looking at another player. His name is leading the race for a player called Arthur Avon. He's the Lorient midfielder. Has been dubbed the new Yaya Toure.
I'll
send that to you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, bro. Hold on. Let me share the link with you, and I'll send it.
Arthur Avon. Okay, you said Avon. Okay.
Avon. I'll send you.
This guy does not look 20. Nah, man, he does not look 20. Yes, he's 20 years old.
Have you got a picture of him? Have you? You got a picture of him? You know the one I'm talking about?
Guy is 20.
Yeah, I'll send you the whole link anyway.
This is definitely
it's gone. You've got it now. I've sent it to you.
This cannot be.
I've DM'd it to you. Yeah.
There's no way this guy. I'm going to present this quickly. There's no way this guy is 20 years old.
Yeah. I don't know.
This. This guy's 20.
You think he's older?
No way. There's no way. He looks like he's 28. No way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but he looks older than 20. Nah, man. This guy, it's not sharing. Why is it not sharing? Where is it? Okay, here it is. This guy does not look 20. Maybe I don't know. I don't mean this in an offensive way, but he does not look 20. Here it is, right? This does not look like someone that's 20 years old. And according to YouTube, not to YouTube, to Google, he's 20 years old, born in December 2024. There's no way this guy is 20 years old.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry,
the guy.
he looks
That's the
nothing
player.
like 20.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's one. So I'm gonna release the Malik Tillman video called We're Linked with him. I'll do research on this guy. I'll probably make another video and see what happens there. But yeah, thank you for sharing this.
No worries, bro. Anytime. And
Right,
if I get any other stories throughout the day, as I always do, because I always send them to you. I think you saw the ones of Lavia. I showed you the ones today of Action Pong. I don't know if you got them from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. They're the other ones. So whatever I get, I'll send to you, bro.
All right. So yeah, we've gone way over the 3-hour mark. I'm probably gonna be banned from making streams again. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's what happens when we talk about football. But it means I won't be able to make another stream until the 5th of May, which is when do we play? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday, bro. Sunday.
Hey, but the 5th is a Tuesday. Is it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, thank you for joining, DJ.
Nice, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So, peace, guys. Let me see if I can get my little intro and outro ready. Thank you guys for joining.
With Chelsea sessions, we grow as one to 100K. Let's get it.